And we are here with the G-Stacks. Monday morning, 13th day, November.
Black Friday was 2 weeks from Friday.
We'll talk about that. That's what you think. Let's go. And I have no head this morning. Look at that. He has no... Oh, there he is. I have no idea. I made it a vow to figure out the system.
You have a head on what we can see.
I do have a head.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. We're going to check in with ABC News. First, let's go and do a check of your forecast. Diane DeHaven is here. She is going to be with us
forever.
Forever and ever. And I have some money for you, but it figures out to $2 an hour for this week. So It's a start. It's a start.
It's a big start. It's better than I got last time we did this deal.
That's better than you got last week. All right, here's your forecast calling for 35 to 42 today and a little bit of sunshine. You know, the deal is the winds, too. You know, it was kind of chilly. It was a Sunday or something, but there was no wind, and so it was really actually rather nice. Skies cloudy, some light drizzle and patchy fog to start the day, and let's see, morning commutes. Here's some more information that we don't need. But a little bit of patchy drizzle, so what, Diane?
Patchy drizzle?
Yeah, so what do we need?
Just please remember to put your headlights on, use your parking lamps if you can, and your wipers.
Maybe an umbrella, slicker?
I don't know if you need a rubber today.
All right. Tonight, skies are going to be cloudy with some light drizzle and fog heading into Tuesday morning. Overnight lows tonight. Boy, that's cold. 25.
That's a sweatshirt.
Yeah, did you, I don't know, do you have perennials or annuals, the ones that die every
Mine are dead already.
Yeah, mine are dead now. Petunias are dead. Hi, Miss Kathy. How are you?
Yours are dead, but mine are alive. So how did that happen?
I don't know.
Did you bring yours in?
Why are you so far away? Do I have...
Mine are still alive outside.
Wait. Oh, it's me. It's not you. Oh, you brought yours inside. The
No,
petunias are dead.
No, a lot of my I have annuals that are still alive.
Well,
so
I like
if I have annuals that are still alive, then you must too.
I like your violet or not. What do I keep? Fuchsia. And I wanted to put them in the sunroom, if you will, because I thought that it would be nice and they could stay alive for a bit longer.
Where's the sunroom?
Miss Kathy decided right at the front door. It's all enclosed in glass.
Like a vestibule?
I don't know what a vestibule is.
No, there's a sunroom on there.
It's like a 3 seasons room? 4 seasons room?
Something
3.
Like that, I guess.
Unless the wind's blowing, then it's like a 2-season room.
Has windows and it has one screen.
It was cute when they built it 120 years ago.
You were cute when they built you 120 years ago.
Yeah, I was, and I have pictures to prove it. Otherwise, you wouldn't believe it. Anyway, look for Tuesday through Thursday. Skies are looking a bit better. There's a subjective...
Compared to what?
I know, that's a subjective statement. Tuesday, mostly to partly sunny skies. Highs will be in the lower to upper 40s. Look at that. Oh, my gosh. Wednesday, highs may be 52. Yeah, this is what I'm liking. You know what the problem here is? You know what Wednesday is?
Hump day?
Wednesday this week is...
Jonathan's birthday.
Firearms deer season.
Yeah, she got that right. Firearm deer season. Well, they want snow.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, they want snow. It's not a problem for me. I don't care. I go hunting in my meat department of my local grocery store. Did your dad ever hunt?
No.
Dad, did your mom ever hunt?
My dad lived in Brooklyn, New York. We don't hunt.
We don't hunt. You run from the police.
We got grocery stores. We don't need to hunt.
The police do the hunting in Brooklyn.
Well, yeah.
Is the nickname for Brooklyn also the Bronx?
No, the Bronx is not part of Brooklyn.
See, I love Manhattan, and I know about Queens.
Okay.
Oh, I know about Queens.
Yeah, Staten.
Yeah. Know what I'm saying?
Stop.
Okay.
Yeah, Staten Island.
Right.
That's where we went at the free ferry.
Well, the Staten Island Ferry, but Ellis Island is where the...
Yeah.
Okay.
The Staten Island Ferry is where we stopped and the ferry, and we had to wait. And then
Staten Island, which was an island that was created out of a garbage dump. Not kidding.
Yeah.
Staten Island, and you got Manhattan.
Is that it's a gross place in Staten Island? It's
It's
still
gorgeous.
a garbage bin?
No, it's beautiful.
Well, then what do they do with all the garbage? They buried it.
Well, now they have barges. Now they have garbage barges that go up and down the Hudson River. You got the Bronx, which is, if you come across the George Washington Bridge from New Jersey, it's to the left. Manhattan's to the right.
And Brooklyn is by the Brooklyn Bridge. You weren't there, remember? I took those photos.
Oh, okay.
Come to think of it, my dad is back in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Let's get an update from ABC News.
Yes, please.
From ABC News, I'm Scott Goldberg. President Trump's wrapping up his nearly 2-week trip to Asia with a reality TV-like tease of what's to come when he's back here Wednesday.
It'll be a very complete statement as to trade, as to North Korea, as to a lot of other things. We've made some very big steps with respect to trade, far bigger than anything you know.
Today in Manila, he had a private meeting with the controversial president of the Philippines.
President Trump ignored a question about whether he would bring up human rights abuses in his first official meeting with Philippine President Duterte, but the White House says it did come up briefly during their conversation in the context of the Philippines' fight against illegal drugs. Human rights groups say Duterte has carried out thousands of extrajudicial killings as part of his aggressive crackdown on dealers and users. The White House said ahead of their meeting that it would be a frank and friendly discussion. The two presidents also spoke about ISIS and trade. Karen Travers, ABC News, traveling with the president in Manila.
Even if President Trump were to ask Roy Moore to drop out of the special election for senator in Alabama, one of Moore's advisors says he would stay in the race despite the Washington Post story about him pursuing teenage girls.
The most damaging allegation against Roy Moore involves a then 14-year-old girl that Moore met at an Alabama courthouse where he worked as assistant DA. And now Teresa Jones, who was a deputy DA alongside Moore during the time in question, supports the allegations, writing, "It was common knowledge about Roy's propensity for teenage girls." Moore denies the charges.
ABC's Lana Zach. Moore is threatening to sue the newspaper. On Capitol Hill, the full House could vote this week on the GOP tax reform plan, a big potential hurdle down the path. Its version does not eliminate the deduction for property taxes. The Senate version does. On the border of Iran and Iraq, a powerful earthquake sent people fleeing. The death toll now more than 330, according to state media. That earthquake, magnitude 7.3. On Wall Street, Dow futures point to a lower open. You're listening to ABC News.
It's Monday, November 13th. Here's what else is on the way. Why a U.S. airport was sent into a panic over a backpack. A shocking story out of San Diego. The dangers parents need to watch out for the next time they send their kids to an indoor gym. And the latest internet scam that will have you thinking twice when you look for help on Google. Those stories and more coming up.
A former Marine running 31 marathons in 31 days to raise money for his fellow veterans. A difficult task for anyone, more so for a double amputee. ABC's Ariel Reshef has his story.
To his fellow Marines, Rob Jones is the fiercely loyal brother who kept them going during their most dangerous moments.
Rob brought a spirit to the unit and was always on the tip of the spear, per se, on the front line.
As a combat engineer in Afghanistan, in 2010, Rob stepped on an IED, losing his legs. Months of grueling rehab, learning to sit, stand, and finally walk again. But Rob didn't stop there, eventually becoming a Paralympic rower, now pushing himself to the limit, running 31 marathons in 31 cities in 31 days, all to raise money for wounded warriors. His wife, Pam, by his side.
I've actually heard him say in the past, thank God it happened to me and not somebody who wasn't as capable of dealing with it.
In every city, strangers inspired to join him. 812 miles later, on Veterans Day, in the heart of the nation's capital, an emotional end to his remarkable journey.
What is this moment like for you?
I want people to know that a wounded veteran is not a broken veteran. A wounded veteran is just somebody that needs to find their new path on how they're going to keep fighting.
An American hero living his mission to serve the country he loves.
USA! USA!
Ariel Reshef, ABC News, Washington.
ABC's Ariel Reshef.
And welcome back. The top news here today is I'm looking at 9or10news.com. 6.5 magnitude earthquake shakes Costa Rica, or is it Costa Rica? I did that for Diane's amusement.
There's another earthquake.
Oh, I know. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Thanks. Shoppers at a Walmart store there say, I'm sorry, I'm grumpy. Shoppers at a Walmart store there say the earthquake sent items flying off the shelves. I know it, right? And they will on Black Friday.
We'll get to that, too.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah. So far, there are no reports of deaths or injuries. But there was reported one homeless who was living. No, not really. Remember that story? The homeless person in Walmart?
They made a movie based on it, Where the Heart Is.
Yeah.
I watched part of that movie last weekend.
Landslides. President of Costa Rica is ruling out a tsunami, however. Now we have another one.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. It's R-I-C-A, babe.
Is it Costa Rica?
Yeah, it is. You're thinking Puerto Rico. No, I don't know what you're thinking. 7.3 magnitude earthquake. Now you have a quandary, don't you? What do we do? This is where we need the second camera, right? I never did pick that up. Okay, sorry, I digress. 7.3 magnitude earthquake. More than 200 people in Iran and left. About 1,000 others hurt. Iran sits on major fault lines and is prone to earthquakes. Can you grab that door for me?
It's the act of God.
Thanks. The quake was felt throughout Iraq, shaking building and homes. Iraq's interior ministry says his country, 7 people were killed, more than 300 were injured. And those are the top world stories here today. Locally, and we'll touch upon these, Clare County man injured in a crash. This one is the punishment for the mother charged in the Manton hotel explosion. On my Christmas wish list is a cough and a sneeze button.
Excuse me, I need to help at that door.
Oh. Where's the dog? Oh boy. Grand Traverse County Commission works extra hours to keep roads clear. It did get slippery all of a sudden, very, very quickly. If you're waking up in Traverse City Friday morning, if you were, you probably saw 1 or 2 inches or more snow than when you went to sleep. Not enough for a snowman, but you might be able to attempt a snow angel with leaves in it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really a story or not. Let's
Depends on where you live, though, because Kalkaska, that area, Fife Lake, they got like 6 inches of snow.
Is that right?
It's the way it always is. Where we live.
Yeah, it seems to be. We're closer to the water.
There's something about where we live that it has a weather name, but we don't get the snow they do.
That's
you
right.
Go right out that way. Woo.
But then again, they don't get the pictures that we get here, like the one behind your head of the Northern Lights.
That's true.
You don't get those out there.
Those are fabulous. And
well,
you're putting,
you would.
by the way, aren't you putting up some of your photos for sale because it's a holiday season?
Yeah,
Something or other?
I have a bunch of frame photos that I am trying to get posted on my website and that. I'm finding it's very difficult to take photos of
your photos.
A frame photo because without
The glare.
you know, I'm learning how to do
So, anyway, I was lazy. You were sleeping a lot trying to recover from a bug. What did Diane do this weekend? Because I'm going to pretend like I care.
Okay.
Okay?
173 Christmas cards.
Hmm.
4 loads of laundry.
I care.
And
How much
it's-
postage did that cost you?
These are cards I'm delivering to our subscribers.
Oh, I see. And you said, I picked up Monday's Traverse City Record Eagle on newsstands everywhere. Get yours today. Diane is an independent contractor.
I am.
And she tosses these things. I like how they do it in Leelanau County with a little tube.
You can get you have a tube.
You have a tube? Do you have a tube?
No, you do.
I have a tube. No, a tube that comes out of the car.
Oh, no, they don't do that. Do they really?
They do.
They launch them?
He does. He puts it, and he puts the tube in the little receptacle underneath the mailbox. And he pushes it in.
That is cool. I was trying to find like a
Think about
CO2
that.
canister that I could shoot them.
Oh yeah, at the
people's
house. Some
porches.
people,
Yeah,
maybe at
Yeah.
some people,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So anyway, so I say it's a pamphlet, and you say no. Monday, as an independent contractor, Mondays are tough because some people don't get their paper on Saturday and Sunday, so you end up having 3 of those things.
Yeah, so you have all 3 papers. Sunday's paper was getting bigger. You can tell we're getting closer to Black
Right.
Friday because of the increase of ads. I mean, Cole's had a book in there.
Right. Well, we were going to talk about that a bit too. Why do people not get them until Monday? Are they gone for the weekend?
Closed. They're closed, and you don't want to at a business, and you don't want to leave the business there with papers.
Okay, it shows that
Because they'll
nobody's
walk
there.
away. Well, they'll also walk away.
Yeah.
This is downtown Traverse City.
Yeah, people have done that at the radio station. They kind of, where's the paper? Oh, it's gone. But anyway, where was I on that? Oh, yes. Yeah, sure.
Let me break in because
Oh, we have some school closings.
yeah, but not like
Why?
that. Rebecca, we have a couple people comments. So while the people might be still listening, Rebecca,
It might be.
She said, well, because some people listen and they can't listen the whole time.
Right,
so it's
they
nice to
listen,
say
they don't
a
watch
shout
too.
out,
That's true.
back to them while they're still there.
Hello, Rebecca.
Yeah, and she also had a good point, which I mentioned to you this morning. We forgot to do something about this weekend that she thinks our news break should say brought to you by the Norm Jones Show or something like that. So that when people tune in, they're like, oh, okay, we get that. And then also our friend Colleen, and I will say her last name, McClellan, says, hey kids, nice sticker.
Hey there. Yes. Yes, we put the sticker up. We went out to see the G-Snacks perform at the Monkey Fist Brewery. And she told me a story that somebody wouldn't go to the Monkey Fist Brewery because of the name.
It's her stepdaughter.
What's...
I guess it doesn't matter who. They didn't want to because it sounded gross,
It has a fist of...
A monkey fist of a monkey, and so...
It's a weapon.
A monkey
fist
fist?
is a weapon. It's a knot that you tie.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was because it was a
I thought it was like 50 Shades of Grey kind of a... No?
Wow,
A
you
fist?
just live there.
I'm waiting for the new one to come out on Valentine's Day.
50 Shades
Honey,
of
it's
Freer?
Valentine's, yeah. It's Valentine's Day. Let's go to a kinky movie. So, I digress.
Wow.
Well, we did the forecast, the national news, and the headlines. We'll get to the local. But, for Veterans Day, I have to be very honest with you. I didn't do anything.
Really?
I know, to commemorate. It was pretty sad.
Did you call your brother?
No, I didn't.
I thought about it.
Yeah, did you?
Released, and I didn't do it either.
We'll send him a card saying, well, we thought about calling you. But then we
we
decided
thought about
not
you.
to. Aren't you better off just saying that you forgot to call instead of, I was thinking about calling and I decided not to?
I was thinking about you on Veterans Day.
All right, what do you have here for schools?
I have Gaylord Community Schools are closed. Gaylord St. Mary's closed.
Why?
It doesn't
say. I want to know. I'll bet the guys know.
Johannesburg Lewiston is
Johannesburg.
closed. And then that's on there twice. Johannesburg, Lewisburg. 1 hour ago. Okay, Otsego Christian is closed. Oh, North Academy is closed.
Where's that?
And I don't know.
North Central Academy, probably in Petoskey.
No, because it's and then Johannesburg, Lewiston.
Yeah, you said
Veterans.
that.
No, but there's another.
Be succinct.
I know. I'm trying to read it. Veterans Day. Oh, Veterans Day something.
Yeah, Veterans Day was not closed, I'm pretty sure.
Today, well, a lot of them are celebrating Veterans Day today.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They have veterans showing up at the schools. That's rather neat. Well, did you commemorate Veterans Day, Miss Hurricane Diane?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I went to the services.
Oh, I really feel bad. Did you go to the one by the Commons there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I went last year. Weather was nice.
Picture was good. That's one of the pictures that you have on the Norm Jones Show is, thank you for supporting our veterans. That's the first time that I saw the Gold Star family statue.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah,
they unveiled that last year.
I don't deal well with that.
Yeah, it's tough.
We were there when they
I am the babbling idiot.
Yeah.
A blubbering, babbling idiot when it comes to that stuff. Did you make it to Washington, D.C. yet?
No. We were talking about it this fall along with Maine, but
when you get
things have been
to
in flux.
the Vietnam Wall,
right?
Which you've seen, I'm sure you've seen the traveling one, which is really not like the one that's in Washington, D.C. When you start, people are walking, and, it's not like you're talking like we're talking.
Right, it's very
kinda
quiet.
hushed- it's kind of hushed tones.
Ground Zero is like that.
When you get to the apex of the wall where you are literally standing below more names than you can see, there's silence. You hear the occasional sniffle.
Yep.
You'll hear me going, oh my God. I am the world's worst at this stuff. I mean, tearing up even now. Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, forget it. Forget it.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
and we've heard once in a while of a case of somebody being really disrespectful.
oh, and they don't take that.
No, they don't.
No.
And they stop and they in no
Remind
uncertain
them.
terms remind them where they are on holy ground. But they,
You go,
so to
"Punk,
speak.
I'll shoot your ass.
But they, yeah, I have bullets.
And a bayonet.
But I was at Ground Zero with the fountains where the footprint of the Twin Towers
I still
were.
haven't gone.
Yeah, well,
can't.
and that's also one of those places where nobody talks. It's like after you see, I digress, Schindler's List. You walked out of that movie just kind of,
Olivia saw American Sniper, and she said it was the exact
I did
same
not.
reaction.
Oh, we did see American Sniper part of it, didn't we?
though.
Yeah,
We
TV.
didn't walk
You had
out.
the
So
exact same
anyway,
effect.
you have like 2-year-olds and a little younger who are laughing and giggling and playing, and you kind of expect that, of course. But it's just such a somber thing. And then when we went, we did not plan this. We planned it around the 40th anniversary of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Well, there you go. You got
Yeah,
your
of course,
priorities.
that's my priority. So we go there, and it turns out the Pope was going to be there.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I know.
Were you doing Mass at St. Patrick's?
We couldn't.
He did it at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We couldn't get back to our motel room because they blocked everything off,
Oh,
which
my gosh.
didn't matter to me. But it was very interesting from a security standpoint,
The next
which
time-
fascinates me. It was very interesting.
The next time you go back,
Not soon enough.
you can talk to me first, because I'm going to send you to some of the places off the beaten path,
I went to Okay, good. I'd like that.
like St. John the Divine.
Yeah.
I love churches. Have you been to Washington, D.C. yet?
You just asked me that. No, I had planned on going this fall, but
I think we're just going to do
we're kind of in
like a
flux
quick
there.
road trip there. We were going to do a long trip.
Up to Maine for the fall colors.
kind
Yeah,
of place.
I've never been on the
I
East
told him
Coast.
The
except for
colors
Manhattan.
are gone.
We
Well,
could just
no
go straight to Washington, D.C., spend a few days and come back. You know.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Maybe
But when you
his
go
brother
there,
meet us
please,
there, the
please,
veteran.
please go to the National Cathedral.
I went to New York. Okay, we'll talk about that. I went to New York twice, and both times never dawned on me take a subway.
You're not missing anything.
Grand Central
before he went
Station.
with me.
You never.
I wanted to see Grand Central Station.
Well, you don't need to take a subway to do that,
I
honey.
know.
You could just go down and look at it.
No, but
There's a couple getting married there, and
Oh.
I had
yeah, it was sad.
Yeah.
No.
But it was funny because he had never gone on the subway, and I'm like, let's get around. That's how we get around. So we went around, and he rode the subway with me. And,
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
And then he wanted a tour bus, so one stopped. That was like stopped at a light, and we jumped on.
Was it a double-decker one?
It was in
Yeah.
the middle of the tour. We paid the money and went on. Then we got off. He had to go to the bathroom, so we were in Harlem, and we jumped off.
Oh yeah.
And they went on. Then
Yeah.
we had to walk like 3 blocks to the
Back-
subway stop, and it was like Friday night in Harlem, and it was like the best, better than staying on
Yeah.
the tour bus, walking through Harlem on a Friday night.
Because
It's
what we
before dark,
remember,
and to see all the things you had to see. It
what
was
we
amazing.
I remember about Harlem back in the 70s was whoa.
New York City back in the 70s.
Yes.
I mean, the squeegee guys
Thank
and
you,
the
Ed
hookers.
Koch,
and,
right?
Yeah, Ed Koch and Rudy Giuliani.
Well, Giuliani cleaned it up. He at least got the homeless people not so visible.
Yeah, and we got the hookers. Well, you correct. Yeah, Rudy's just.
They got rid
awesome.
of the hookers?
There's not as many.
Oh.
And now, so you didn't see Trump Tower. You didn't.
Oh,
see,
yeah.
Yeah, we
you
saw
did.
Trump Tower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go in?
No, we
No.
saw it from the bus.
We saw it from the
I
bus.
went
I think we
into
saw it from the bus, and some
right.
things we walked to. I took him, he wanted to go on a water tour. I'm like, well, let's go on the Staten Island Ferry.
So we
took
did that,
because
yeah.
it's free.
Yeah.
They went up
And there were
and
people
turned around
like
and came
cutting
back.
in line, and I was just like, you got to be
Just-
kidding me.
No, the Staten Island Ferry is awesome. If you feel the need
You have to.
relive it, you can watch Working Girl again with Melanie Griffin.
Yeah,
You know?
it's one of those things like I've said many times on the show, Mount Rushmore. Oh, there it is. Yeah, look,
pretty much.
there's Mount. Hey, oh, there it is.
Yeah, pretty much. The
Yeah.
whole history behind it and how
That's
it was
why I
made,
don't-
we don't know about it.
That's why everybody says I need to go to D.C. because what I'm thinking is, oh, there's the Lincoln Memorial. there's Washington Monument, there's 600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
1600.
1600. You know what I'm saying? And they said, no. There's a lot there. And then what I really didn't want to do, and people really that call me a curmudgeon, is like Vicksburg and...
like the Civil War
place.
Yeah.
No, what I told them is, if we had a good time, we need to go to Pennsylvania or Philadelphia first, because that's where it started.
Right.
If you go 1 year, I went to Philadelphia and to Washington, D.C., and it really connected a lot.
Paul wanted to do that. The Liberty Tour, that's what they kind of call it, the Liberty Tour.
And I told them that Gettysburg's on the way. You just stop. Just stop for a few hours because there's a special feeling there.
Take a picture.
There's a special feeling. I want to show respect to the dead. I mean, what a terrible, as Paul Harvey used to say, the uncivil war. But if I want to go into a war zone, I'll just visit my parents.
Yeah, I know.
If I want to go into a war zone, I'll just... Rough crowd.
Yeah, well...
I'll be here all week, 2 shows nightly, tip your waitresses. So yesterday, I'm sitting around doing nothing. And so... And I really didn't. I watched television. I didn't even do my little housework.
You could cut the dog's nails.
And no kidding. And so anyway, I'm sitting around doing nothing. And so about, 3/4 of the day through, I went, well, I'm not doing nothing. I'm observing the Lord's Day of Rest.
I know.
Well, there you go.
Exactly. I felt all better about it then.
Well, there you go. I mean, nowhere does it say that you have to drive yourself nuts every day.
I have a bathroom and a rental I need to paint. I've just been putting it off. I like fixing stuff, but painting, ugh. Anyway, I digress. So last night we watched and we recorded the Elizabeth Smart story, AMC.
Help me with this.
Blonde, kidnapped at age 14.
Salt Lake City,
Utah.
Oh, yeah.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Very pretty. She went on a speaking tour. She was in Petoskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was on last night, and she was very, very, very good at presenting herself. Photogenic, of course, but I mean, just the way she handled herself, and then went into the details of her assaults, rapes, basically, and her feelings, and how she was chained by the ankle, and people were looking for her, and man, I was glued to it. I mean, I don't usually get in. I don't generally like what's on television. I'll go to Netflix or Amazon.
Or you'll watch Andy Mayberry.
No, I've seen them all now. It's like Mad Men. I binged watched through that. Now I can't see them anymore. I've seen them from start to finish, which is kind of a... Anyway, so we watched that, and that was pretty interesting. And then I talked to a lot of people on Facebook who are also watching Sunday morning on CBS. I don't know if you watch that, but that's one of our...
No.
It's for old people.
Okay.
It is. It's slow. Yeah. It's history. It's...
What was on?
What was on?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it wasn't as interesting.
Yeah, sometimes it's good, sometimes...
Or no, who was it? A couple that...
Oh, that was a good interview. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. No pressure, guys. But you know when a couple's been married that long, you're like... You hate to be cynical, but Hollywood marriages or Nashville marriages...
They're a gorgeous couple.
Well, they are. I mean, they could have sold their fertilized eggs.
Truth.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just... What movie was Tim McGraw in that I saw him in?
Friday Night Lights.
Besides, he wasn't. He was in The Blind Side.
Oh, yes, he was. Well, wait a second. He was in a football movie, too, though.
That's The Blind Side.
Oh, is it? Oh,
I don't know. Maybe it was a video of his, and he was like walking the streets of Scotland or something like that, and I'm looking at him going, "Dang, honey, you're looking mighty fine." Those country boys are just, they're adorable.
I never really
Not a fan of Spike Yoakum because I can't figure out how he gets those jeans on.
Right.
Just damn. You
Clouds.
his credit card numbers.
Clouds hang on or count the hairs on his butt. Somebody used to say.
No,
yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Clouds hang on Monday with a wet start to firearm deer season on Wednesday. I got a call from my doctor's office, and they said, and I'm terrible about making assumptions or prejudices or something, but I said, so he has to cancel my doctor's appointment for the 15th, and now it's on the 30th, 2 weeks later. And I said, well, is he going hunting? And they want to know everything about you. They want to know about the boil on your little toe, right? But they don't talk about themselves. So I said, oh, is he going deer hunting? Oh, I do not know. Well, now here I am being judgmental. That's the word I was looking for. Judgmental, because I guess all walks of life go deer hunting. That's the most politically correct way I could say it. My doctor does not remind me of somebody who goes deer hunting.
Oh, I'm quite sure.
You know, my doctor looks like he has regular pedicures. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Maybe maybe he goes to deer camp.
Exactly, and never picks up a rifle.
Well,
I've heard that.
And that's fine. That's part
Well,
of the
sure.
That's part of the tradition.
It's a boys' club.
Well, pretty much. And then you have the Deer Widows Weekend.
We're right, with the Chippendales and Thunder Down Under, and
yeah, really.
Guys on steroids with acne on their back and
And
stuff.
you just sit there looking at him going, does your mother know you do this for a living?
Oh, she knows.
Seriously.
Mom always knows.
Well, one of my traditions of hunting season is to watch Escanaba in the Moonlight.
Never seen
it.
That's with
Jeff Daniels?
Jeff Daniels, yeah.
Yeah.
He made it. But one of the reasons I like watching it is the beginning part, besides it's hilarious to me, but it shows the camaraderie, of deer camp. And I'm like, I want to be there. I want to be there playing cards and, and
I was just about to ask you if you were a native. No, you're not. You were born in California, weren't you?
Yeah, I just lived there for the first 6 years, and then Farmington Hills. But
She did modeling as a little baby.
No, not really, but
You did too. I saw the pictures.
it was modeling for a family. It was a company, a milk dairy company, that took photos of the family to make a family calendar. And we thought maybe it was modeling until I posted it on Facebook, and somebody else who lives in California said, "Oh yeah, my family had the same thing."
Oh, I see. But they wanted to get you into it.
They wanted me to get into the movies.
Because you used to be really cute, I guess.
I know. Somebody saw my photo.
Go figure.
Somebody in the film industry wanted me to.
I just got the stink eye from that. Oh, I believe it. You're a cute little kid.
Somebody wanted me to be, come in and be tested, and my parents talked about it and said no. They thought it wouldn't be good for me.
Yeah, some parents are kind of that way. I got accepted to a very prestigious school as a young child, and my parents were like, nope. I was going to go to Juilliard.
Oh, my.
Man. Well, they were concerned about my personality. It might affect my personality.
Your bubbling personality?
Well, look at those cheeks, too. Can you imagine as a baby?
So cute.
When you look at what happened to a lot of these, the young stars who were given drugs and took drugs and
were molested by what's his name?
Yeah, I know.
Named Weinstein.
And Kevin Spacey.
Who knows who else? I mean, I think I made the right decision. I don't mind that I'm not.
Who
knows?
No, you don't. I think becoming a pharmacist is far more permanent and permanent.
Well,
I think that's important.
Just grab the ring while you can. I think I would encourage. Well, they have the moms or dads that hover around pretty closely.
Yeah, okay, Billy Ray Cyrus. Let's talk about Miley.
I know. Well, you know what? Looking back, Miley did what a lot of people did. The shock value to get stardom, like Madonna rolling around at the music awards in her wedding dress, and
she's doing like a virgin.
Yeah, where we all got to see the garters since the 1950s or something, which came back into Vogue, get it? Vogue.
Good for you.
So, she just did it. She did it like everybody else has done it. But put your tongue back in your mouth. I didn't like it either. I think he knew what she was doing, and she knew what she was doing. And now she's very pretty and kind of legit.
And she's marrying Thor's brother, so that's good.
Who?
Thor, Chris Hemsworth.
I don't know.
The guy that plays Thor in the Avengers movies.
Oh, is that a...
Oh, my stars.
Oh, is he an attractive man?
Oh, dear. Reminds me of, what's his name? Clay...
Aiken?
No. Clay plays for... Oh, my God, he's in the sing-off, too. He plays for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, Packers played yesterday, didn't they?
Clay something. I'm not going to remember. Brian, please help me out here. Clay something.
I thought Packers were beating the Bears last I checked. I don't watch football either.
I'm not watching it this season at all.
I posted, I know why. I posted on social media that even though the average game is, 2 hours, give or take, the actual time the ball is in play is 11 minutes, and people didn't like that.
Well, no, they didn't like it, but I also think that there's did I actually waste 2 hours plus of my time for an 11-minute ordeal?
Here's a replay. Here's the face of the coaches on the sideline with their arms crossed with a headset, right? I don't know. I'm just not into it. I'm not into watching sports. I like listening to Tigers baseball while I'm doing something else. Okay.
Wait, and I did read, though, that a lot of the players suspended their whole baby activity, antics because of Veterans Day weekend.
3 kneeled for the Bears and 1 kneeled for the Giants. And again, my Giants, you're a gross disappointment. Shame on you, all of you.
Yeah, well, I believe in their freedom of expression to be idiots. So
That's fine. You can express it off the field because I'm not paying you to hear that.
I know. Drivers of 2 separate vehicles plunged into the Boardman River at the same boat launch in the span of 1 month prompted officials to consider potential safety upgrades at that site, for those who don't know. And you know what? I was thinking about this last night. I jumped to conclusions and assumptions because this woman had, it was very public.
The first
woman had a drug habit. And she was clean, and they found a spoon and some. Okay, she's on heroin. Turns out I am an idiot and a terrible. Well, I'm not a journalist, but I would be a terrible journalist because I jumped to the conclusion, as a lot of people did. She wasn't on illegal drugs.
Whoa. It was in her system, not a fatal amount. She did not die from an overdose. No one said that she didn't take any of this stuff to the point where she was knocked out and so zoned out she didn't know she fell asleep in the water.
Toxicology report said she had Xanax and something else in her system.
Which are legal drugs.
Gave a pen.
And the stuff they give you for heroin withdrawal.
Suboxone.
Suboxone.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, that none of those, she could have had legitimate prescriptions.
And if she had any alcohol on top of those...
Which she didn't say.
But it doesn't say that she did. See, that's the thing. We're jumping...
I was jumping to the conclusion she was all zoomed on heroin, and that was wrong of me.
I'm sorry. I my heart breaks for her family, but this was her choice.
I know, but she wasn't. Look, I'm not talking about that. Pull back. I'm talking about I rushed to judgment.
Oh, I don't think you did.
I think I did. To a degree, I think I did.
I know. I agree with him. It doesn't say. Those are all legal prescription drugs, and it doesn't say that they
we had so many heroin overdoses, I just went ahead and made the wrong call.
And just the same thing that he says.
Why what?
If say I said I was an alcoholic, and I had a car, and I'd been sober for many years, but if I had a car accident, people would assume that it was because so it's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. Here he's always tries to be sensitive to that, and here he made that assumption.
I don't understand why we have all these heroin overdoses anyway.
You don't I don't understand a lot of people's addictions either. I mean,
put a needle in your own arm.
Well, no, you can snort it.
Yeah, but I could talk about that.
Anyway, you can get up and close to the mic if you want a little bit more. I want to make sure we hear all of your salient comments.
She's also near the mic.
The other mic. I'm like Mike to the max.
You're talking about speakers. She's all right. Anyway, new details emerged Thursday in the case of the first vehicle. That was Traverse City resident Morgan Elmer. She died after driving a van down the boat launch into the Boardman River. At the end of parking lot D, which is always fun, they have the letters for all the parking lots and nobody knows where they are. It's like, the one down by the boat launch, or the one across from the Park Place, which is now Radio Center, or parking deck, excuse me.
Yeah, this is the one that is next to, right off of Park, just before you get to the big road that goes down.
Grandview Parkway.
Grandview Parkway, yeah.
While authorities found needles and spoons within the vehicle, no drugs were located in the van, so you may be right there. Preliminary autopsy results were inconclusive regarding Elmer's cause of death, but this week a more detailed autopsy and toxicology report was completed and returned to the Traverse City Police Department with Elmer's official cause of death, drowning.
Yep.
Xanax and Neurontin, which is also gabapentin, right?
Yep.
Anti-epileptic or nerve pain drug. I take that. I have neuropathy.
I got rid of mine.
Why it didn't work for you?
I just made me a zombie. I didn't care.
Really?
Oh, I hated that stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't do that to
I
me.
have trouble taking aspirin, for goodness sakes.
Really? Oh, see, now I have arthritis. Oh,
So do I.
here we go. We're going back to all of our aches and pains because we're old people.
Now do the
Right, is
methotrexate.
that story done?
Yeah, I think.
Well, I didn't get there because I didn't get to the second story.
Or the other couple that drove thinking it was it.
The prosecutor's office apparently has the results. Elmer had recently purchased the vehicle, but not registered in her name. Almost a month to the day after Elmer's death, another local couple also became confused in the parking lot at night and drove the same boat launch into the river. Always look for a dock. That's kind of helps you
I
out.
just think that the water might be a clue.
The Benzonia couple, let's be respectful of the dead, ended up partially submerged. Oh, no, wait a second. It doesn't say they died.
They're not dead.
Yeah, they safely escaped the vehicle,
The water
then
would have been a
later
clue.
drive it away from the launch
Yeah, we talked about this on Friday.
after authorities came toward the van out of the river.
Yeah, because every single one of their electrical connections, which are underneath the rug, are
Right.
now going to rot.
Oh, yeah, I bought a car and the rugs rotted, and I said to a buddy of mine who
What, a
was
flood car?
watching it, and he's, oh yeah, it was in a flood. It's obvious all the rugs just disintegrated within 6 months of the purchase. And then he started looking at the lines and stuff on the panels and said, yeah, this was an accident.
Yeah.
Kind of explains why I got it so cheap. But it's the 5th annual Beer Week. Nobody?
We have so many beer festivals. Mike
Bueller.
Really?
Bueller.
So where's the beer week?
The filling, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and
just read it.
I'm going to share it. I don't read it. I share it. It's a little more. A filling station's microbrewery Switchback Double IPA was crowned Best IPA, which stands for, Kathy, you know this.
It's a type of beer.
India Pale Ale.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. At the 4th annual Traverse City IPA Challenge Thursday at the Little Fleet, there's like one place you can get a greasy burger there. The rest of it's like hummus and tofu
But
and
they don't.
kale.
Do they still have food there?
They did in the summer.
Well, the food trucks are gone.
Yeah.
But they still
Probably
have
for the winter.
Little Fleet is actually like a little bar that's.
Yeah, they have a bar.
Oh, is that what it is?
And
Yeah.
in their parking lot during the summer, they put the food trucks.
Well, now they have tents up. I saw that they have tents, and across the street is my favorite place, Sparks Barbecue.
Oh,
delicious.
I miss pigs eating ribs. I got addicted to those the summer before last, and even I was going to Charlevoix not too long ago. I'm like, yes, I can stop and get them because they used to have a little place coming into town, but that's closed too. Darn it.
In other local news, there's going to be hell to pay. Ready?
Uh-oh.
A tree removal project.
Where?
Right there, the hackles are going up. Tree removal project could dramatically change part of the landscape at the Grand Traverse County Civic Center. But it'll also bring the opportunity to replace dying trees with healthy ones.
Do they have oak wilt or something like that?
That's in the news. Oak wilt is definitely in the
I don't
news
know
right
what
now.
that is,
Yeah.
but I was looking at some of the trees around, and they've got these black spots underneath the leaves, and I'm going, that can't be
No,
good.
that's a fungus.
Oh, that can't be
Yeah,
good.
my maples have that fungus. You need to rake up those leaves and get rid of them because they'll come back next year.
Oh.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt the tree, it just looks bad. Forestry management plan for both the Civic Center and other county parks. But yeah, the trees get old. We have a beautiful maple on the neighbor's property, and it's, they only live so long. Cherry trees are what, 10, 15 years?
That's it?
Yeah. And maybe I'm wrong. Miss Kathy can Google them or whatever, but it seems like cherry trees, they don't. They're plowing them down and planting new ones all the time, like 15 years. That's
I
about
have
it.
two Montmorencys on my side yard, and in my backyard I have two dwarf Honeycrisp apple trees.
Oh,
that
that's
produced
sweet.
fruit. I was so happy.
Oh,
Well, the cherry trees, you have to have two different types so they can cross-pollinate each other.
yes, no. I had a sweet cherry tree, but it was on the peninsula, so those bees found
Oh, yeah, they
another
were
one
able to
pollinate. Yeah, they were able to, but we were miles away from a cherry tree, another cherry tree. But it was nice. They grew cherries, and we didn't
Go
really
outside, pick 'em off the tree?
Not really.
Oh, I thought people would come over and get them.
Well, I've had people come over and get the pears over on the city property. They'd ask me, and I'm like, it's Orchard Heights subdivision, right? Orchard. And all the pears were on the ground and back before they got rid of deer baiting, before they went back to allowing deer baiting. Guy came over, he says, well, thank you very much. And I'm like, okay, it's on city property, but you're welcome.
I still have raspberries and strawberries that are ripening in my little yard.
And you eaten one or two.
I have. I keep
It's a
watching.
novelty
My raspberries
thing,
didn't fruit this year.
Oh.
Not yet. I'm trying to build this giant raspberry trellis.
Well, and there's what you need to do. They're old, canes and new canes. So the old canes, the ones from last year, those are the ones that'll have the fruit. And then the new canes coming up, those are for the coming year. So you separate them.
Oh, gosh.
And I usually put the new canes to the side so you can reach in to get the old. And
What do you do with hostas?
I just leave mine.
Yeah.
I mean, they
My side
come
bed
back
is
every
just
year.
like over.
Oh, there's
get
too
rid of
many.
them?
What you do?
There's too
Okay,
many.
I actually know
you
this.
take that, yeah.
You split them with a shovel or better. Janine from Pine Hill Village Garden said you take 2 pitchforks. And my first question is, who has 2 pitchforks?
Yeah.
Right? But she said you put them back to back, and then you stab the middle, and then you push them together, and it separates them. But, you could dig them up, and I prefer a hatchet because when I go to split a tree, I'll miss.
Okay. Yeah.
So I take a hatchet and I try to cut them. That's what you do with your hostas. You can cut them in half and replant
'Cause I
them.
wanted to replace it with a trillium.
Oh, so you totally want to get
Yes.
them out?
Oh, really?
We'll take
You know
them.
what drives me nuts? Yeah, exactly. Is that, there's certain plants we should have an informal, and the nurseries would hate you, but an informal plant exchange. Irises.
Like a ski swap, a plant swap.
Yeah. Irises. I had one that was probably 10 feet around. And it was so choked that it didn't bloom anymore. So I separated them and they bloomed. Lilies.
Oh.
Lilacs.
What kind of? Well, don't even get me started with my lilacs. I'm so disappointed.
Oh, they don't get enough sun.
I moved them twice. That's why they're all kinds of
Yeah,
upset
you
with
keep
me.
moving them. Yeah.
Well, we have lots of lilac shoots we could
A ton.
donate.
I've got my burning bush that won't stop burning.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, stop.
I've had ours for 3 years and we've never had that bright. I mean, they turn, but not.
It's like, stop that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I guess.
That's red.
Yeah, it's red. I guess ours is. I guess I'm thinking more of the one of the home that we own west of here that we put in. You put
Probably
in.
didn't get enough water.
I suspect it didn't get enough water because we had some dry periods, and I drove by and thought, why don't you go water that?
And I have a lace leaf Japanese maple.
Oh, those are expensive.
But
I mean,
want
nice.
I want a red bud.
I want a flowering crab or something.
Ooh,
like
that would be pretty. We had
Flowering cherries.
we
too.
had a what is that stupid thing called? Mulberry tree.
Oh.
We had a mulberry tree in the backyard. It was there for 10, 12 years that we were there. Nothing. We just thought it was a tree. We called it the fall tree because you walk by it and say fall, and the next 3 days all the trees fell off the tree.
Right.
Just like, I mean, you could sit there and just watch the leaves fall. It was very pretty. It was very elegant to watch. So at some point, somebody decided that they were going to cut off a branch, and it stressed out the tree. And lo and behold, that stress generated the birth of the mulberries.
Wow.
And then everybody was, we're going to have a mulberry tree. We're going to tear that thing down. It's going to stain the parking pad. It's going to stain your clothes. It's going to stain the pets.
Right.
It's going to stain. So now I don't have a mulberry tree.
Oh,
I could have mulberry jam.
we had a neighbor who successfully was growing rhododendrons.
Ooh.
That's not easy to do in this climate. We're right on the edge.
Yeah.
And then I asked about a holly bush, which I thought was really kind of cool. And they said, no, holly bushes grow here.
Yeah, we have some.
Oh, yeah.
I had one in my old house. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, I do remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then there's some holly kind
Real
of stuff
holly,
over
like
there.
Christmas holly?
Yeah.
I did have
They're
one.
very pretty.
Yeah.
So no, our cherry tree, the blue jays came and ate them, and we didn't care. It was more for the blossoms, the cherry blossoms
want
in the
blue jays.
spring.
It was.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not a fan of blue jays.
They eat peanuts
No,
intended
it
for
wasn't
the
our cherry
squirrels.
tree. It was before.
We have a
Oh yeah, that was
Cardinal.
the old house.
cardinal.
Yeah, your mom had cardinals in her home.
My mom had a
Anyway,
ton of cardinals.
this is not bird talk. Let's get back to the news. More than 300 dead in the Iran-Iraq earthquake. We talked about that. 7.3 magnitude quake. Nearly 4,000 in addition to that injured. Also, we have a story of Liz Smith. You remember who she?
Yeah, the columnist, the gossip columnist.
Gossip columnist. Yeah, she
Yeah.
passed. She died.
90-something.
94.
Oh,
yeah.
bless
Well,
her
there you
heart.
go. If you want to look up our also famous, yet a cop out famous birthdays, we could do that. Then there's just gossip news on CNN. Creator of, looks like Beavis and Butthead, who did Donald Trump, whatever. This dude tweeted that he's going to run for re-election in 2020. Oh my gosh, the liberals are just having a fit.
What dude?
Trump announced he was running for re-election.
Our president.
Our
He just said
president,
this
that's
dude,
right.
that I heard.
This dude.
This
Oh,
dude
Trump.
said, like,
I
this
do
dude said
that.
he was going to run for re-election.
I go back and I
Okay,
listen.
which
I
dude
used
was that?
I listen to the shows and I'm like, what? You know, fragmented sentences and.
I know.
So anyway,
That's
that's
how our life
CNN's lead stories, and you know we're kind of sometimes grateful that nothing's really going on in the news. It's that tragic, and you know terrorist attacks and such. But nonetheless,
The Lions won.
It makes it a little slower. The Lions did win, did they really?
Yeah, top masthead.
Who did they beat?
The people that they played.
Yeah, I watched Green Bay and Bears for a very short time, and Green Bay pretty much.
Clay Matthews, that's his name.
Clay Matthews.
The blonde.
I want to see the Cleveland Browns in the Super Bowl.
Who's undefeated right now? The Saints. I think the Saints are going, and the Browns.
The Browns are undefeated?
I think they're doing very well.
Oh
I
my
might be
gosh,
wrong.
that's
I might be
wonderful.
wrong.
It's like the Cubbies winning the series a year and a few months ago. Yeah. Up North Live, this is 7 and 4 News. Check it out. There's a new scam. Where's that barn? It's on upnorthlive.com, by the way, so we can refer to it so you can check it out.
I'm sorry. Yep.
No, that's okay. I don't know where it is. Is that in Grand Traverse County? It was a historic landmark or something?
No, it's not historical. It's just nobody. It's abandoned and it's a good place to take
Yeah.
photos. But it's
We have no shortage of abandoned barns in
it's
this area. That's
down
for
the
sure.
hill. It's okay. It's on the way to Antrim County, off of 31, where there's the passing lane. So I'm not sure if it's
Okay.
Grand Traverse or Antrim County.
Yes,
Right on the
that's
edge
right.
there.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think the county owns it.
Mm-hmm.
Worldwide warning issued to Netflix members about new scam. I don't know anything about it. I don't worry about that because I just hand over my computer to somebody and say, I got a virus, here's what's wrong, I was scammed, take care of it. Lisa Laronas, friend of ours, took some wonderful pictures, like the one I'm seeing at upnorthlive.com of the waves that splashed onto branches
I figured that. I saw the
and
photo. I'm like,
plants.
that's somebody's good photo. Yeah, let me see if I could download, but I'm afraid to touch. Add something to this right now.
Honor Guard plays tribute to veterans. And let's see. Veterans Day 3 volley salute.
Oh.
I'm not familiar with that. Veterans Day ceremony held in front of the American Legion statue at the Oakwood Cemetery. They move it around. This time the Oakwood Cemetery. Locals and Cub Scout Pack 36 also came out to learn about the Honor Guard. I'm waiting for the flag burning ceremony. We have a couple of them that we have to have honorably retired. And the last thing, you know what, it would be scandalous if you just tried to sneak it out into a trash bag or something. If somebody found it, you just don't do that. It's so interesting. People burn the flag out of respect, and some burn it out of disrespect. Just whatever. I got all wrapped up in that too much because I'm like, what is a flag? If I draw a picture of a flag on a piece of paper, is that a flag? You know, that's a flag burning thing. Never, Fired my belly. Charlevoix County, a man accused of having intimate relationships with an 11-year-old girl, and then we'll just leave this one. Pled guilty Friday morning, 2 counts of CSC, first degree. Okay, that's enough. I just, people read it to be informed, but they don't. That's just a story you don't
Well, now we have the story of Senator Menendez in New Jersey, who is in trial currently.
Yeah,
The jury is out, okay, because he supposedly accepted bribes from his lifelong friend. There are pictures of them going on vacation together, going to their children's weddings, family parties, and this is like some kind of, they were colluding, doing something nefarious, and so we're going to prosecute him, and the prosecution already knows that they don't have a case. And then we go to this one senator who's being faced with accusations of 40 years ago.
I know.
Okay, 40 years ago. You just got the chutzpah girl to stand up and stand your ground? Just now? How convenient. They did the same thing to Herman Cain.
Yep.
You want to go through the list of people that they did this to? They did it to...
Menendez is a Democrat.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. One thing that bothers me, and I was, how do I put this? So I finally figured out how to put this. If, and you can read between the lines because it bugs me, if you had something happen to you, first of all, report it. But then they say, we're talking about sexual harassment here, okay? And so they say, well, they were traumatized and they were trying to build their career and they were trying to do this. Okay, I'll buy that. But when you come out 30 years, 40 years later, why don't you go to the police instead of to
the media?
Instead of going to TMZ, Gossip Channel?
Yeah, I mean...
if you want it to be legit, why are you trying to get your face on the camera in front of the nation?
Okay, without getting into it...
And if you're being insensitive, and I get shot at this all the time.
No,
I'd say the same thing about a guy. It's not a woman issue, it's a guy issue.
Right.
It's a victim issue. If you were the victim of a crime, albeit 30 years ago, and the statute of limitations are over. Bill Clinton committed a crime. We don't talk about that much.
Right.
But anyway, it was called perjury, in which he was impeached. Oh, it was just sex. No, it was about perjury. And here I go. Coffee's working.
There you go. But, it's one thing to say, this is where we're going to get into that whole fuzzy area. It is one thing to be a survivor of a sexual assault, like I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was raped by my next door neighbor when I was 5. And my mom was a drunk and she didn't care because she was too passed out to deal with it. And we didn't talk about things back then. And I've gone through a whole bunch of therapy and blah, 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 and I don't care. I'm fine. I'm just,
Well, you don't forget.
No, you don't forget.
Obviously.
But you don't need to, wear it on your sleeve.
Right.
And you just move on, .org type of thing. Just move the freak on. Stop.
Yeah,
and I think...
as a guy, I can't say that, though.
No, but what troubles me is I was sexually harassed because he said he liked my blouse. Shut up.
I know.
Go in the corner and sit down with some crayons.
I know. Well, listen, I've had this conversation.
He didn't say he liked what was in your blouse. He said he liked your blouse. It was a nice compliment.
Okay.
He held the door for me.
I will see, and this is something that I pointed out too. As a guy, I will look at a little, 5-year-old and go to the mom and go, oh, she is so cute. And then you'll see a 90-year-old lady. And they could be really cute, the eyes and everything. I can't think of her name. But anyway, you go, oh my gosh, she is so cute, little old lady. She's so cute, Like the lady in Titanic, the old lady. Cute.
Oh, yeah, cute.
But where is it in between? Because there was an 18-year-old gal who was at Monkey Fist Brewery with us, and she was a senior in high school.
What time of day was this? Because you shouldn't be in there after 9 o'clock at night.
No, if you're 18.
It was Saturday.
So could I say, oh my God, she's so cute? No, because she's 18. So somewhere in there, somewhere as a guy, somewhere in there, you can't say, or to a guy, oh my gosh, your wife is so cute. But girls say it about her all the time. But I don't think guys, she's adorable. I know she is. But the point is that women will feel comfortable saying it, but guys don't. Oh, you're so cute. To a 5-year-old, okay. To a 90-year-old, okay. To an 18-year-old girl as a 56-year-old man, not okay.
So cat calls and wolf calls, those are sexual harassments?
Hey, women do it too. All I'm saying is it wouldn't bother me.
And it's a lie if you don't.
You do it. And you know what? This is why, man whore, I'm going to throw that around. That's the double standard too. If I walk down the street and women are catcalling me, you just raised my self-esteem about 10 points.
I mean, I just don't understand the super sensitivity of it all. I just don't.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
it's still. I'm not a woman, so I can't really comment on it.
You're in a predominantly male environment. There's not a whole lot of female pharmacists.
There's a lot of pharmacy techs.
Sexual harassment in the workplace. We're not talking about walking down the street. We're talking about in the workplace, where your job, you might feel that you have to do this or accept this in order to, have your job or to be.
So if somebody says something inappropriate, you're not going to call them out and say, "Dude, that was completely inappropriate."
Depends
Some of
what's
them
said.
don't. Well, if it's your boss and you're afraid of going forward in your career,
then you walk away from that job because you don't want to be associated with that kind of company. I'm sorry. There's a standard there.
Well,
You've got
why would you give up your job based on the fact that you're being...
If you have to deal with a boss that's going to make those kind of comments, do you really want to work for that company?
Yeah, but that's what they're
pays
saying.
well, and why let this jerk stand in the path of your career? Now I'm going to side with her.
If you make a complaint, if this is a jerk guy and you make a complaint and they get rid of him because of that, why should you have to leave your job when he's the one that's the jerk?
Right. I'm going to have to side with her on that.
Yeah, I get that, but in the same instance, suck it up, Buttercup.
All right, I know, to a degree, I totally get it.
And I've seen,
because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. It's so out of vogue. I mean, even guys will hear a guy say something to a woman, and we're just like, oh, dude, you're giving the brotherhood a really bad name here. You're just like, oh, shoot.
You asked a question on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Things change.
You asked a question on Facebook. What does he has a wandering eye mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And I said just because he's on a diet doesn't mean he can't look at the menu. He said once. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your comment on that.
Did you not know what that meant? That he had a wandering eye?
No, I did, but I wanted to know what people would say. And everybody was funny. He has astigmatism. Or needs corrective laser eye surgery. He has a lazy eye. It wanders. And so but yeah, I did that because no one really came out and said, and then Marty took it really seriously. She just means he's looking at other women. He chases skirts. I like that one too.
No, just because you're looking doesn't mean you're chasing anything.
He has a wandering eye. No, it means he's a man whore. He's a cheater. That's what I think.
Oftentimes, wandering eye. But back to the harassment thing too. Yes, there are times when you I think that people are wrong, the men are wrong, and they need to something needs to be done about them. But then at the same time, I've worked at places where, for example, we work at a pharmacy, and there's like maybe a couple garbages underneath the counter, and we had a sexual harassment complaint because a girl was standing in front of the garbage, and a guy reached to put something into the garbage. And that was a complaint.
Well,
or another time,
that's touchy. I just said, "Excuse me."
Girl had a piece of fuzz in her hair, and the guy took out the fuzz, and that became a sexual harassment.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
That is BS.
Yeah, that's bull. Because if you do it to a guy, you can do it to a girl. That's my standard, kind of. If you have a piece of lint in your hair and you're a guy. Well, if it's a girl, I'd give her a warning anyway. I'd say there's the piece in your hair, and I have OCD. Do you mind?
Girl to take it out.
Do you mind if I go play another girl? Then she's a lesbian. Let's not get into that.
No. Say, well, I'd say, she's a piece of fuzz. Will you go take it? See if the girl will take it out instead of you.
Fuzz in the back of your hair, Norman, I'd slap you.
I took fuzz out of his hair the other day on the air, but anyways. But
it reminds me of a really bad joke.
Don't do it.
It is going to extreme. But then again, the companies are aware of that, and we're saying, oh, that's part of the training. Don't touch anybody.
But do you not understand how that discredits the legitimate sexual harassment and sexual abuse and sexual crimes? Do you not see how that delegitimizes those? And it doesn't bode well. If you're going to be a woman and you want to compete in a man's world,
kind of marginalizes. Yeah, what though?
No. There's such a thing as decorum. You behave, you behave properly. Mm-hmm. And if a person isn't behaving properly, I'm sorry, your behavior is making me uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. That's all you have to say.
Right. Well, you should do that first, and people were like becoming unglued about. Well, it was the abuse apparently of Police Chief O'Brien, right? And there was, because he was yelling at people, and he actually tapped them on their vest to prove a point. And that was like, I'm being physically abused. And I'm like, well, what I posted after one former corrections, a veteran. Well, what I'm saying is this veteran and former corrections officer said, that's not right. And I said, well, you know what? I know cops. I know a lot of my friends. We'll get in that in a second. A cop generally, even if they're not this way in real life, when they're working, they're headstrong, judgmental. You have to be. If you don't profile, you're not a cop. You have to at least look into something that doesn't look right. Well, that's profiling. And that goes to different degrees. But the type A personalities, they're aggressive, generally. And to put down a cop, if you're the supervisor, the chief, you need to come on kind of strong. My point is, they're all complaining. Some people are complaining that he got off easy with just a warning. Back to sexual harassment. You should tell your person, dude, not cool. And any guy with a brain, the one up here.
Yeah, we catch that.
And then the second step is to go to their supervisor.
Who's the supervisor, the chief of police? The city commission?
No, the manager.
City manager?
Manager hires the police chief. Yeah, Coburn. So
Coburn?
Marty Coburn? Oh, was he the old one? No, I think he's. I don't know. Anyway, city commission hires a manager. Manager hires the chief of police. But I guess back to sexual harassment is you need to go to their direct supervisor.
But that wasn't
and
sexual
then, if
harassment.
nothing, this is a whole different story I'm talking about.
There's
Is that
harassment,
that you have to go to their supervisor. The supervisor needs to put it in your permanent file. I was always scared to death to see my permanent file at work or at school. That's going to go in your permanent file.
You probably read mine.
I want to know where my permanent file is from school. I want to read
They
that.
published mine. It's called 50 Shades of Grey.
I tried to find mine.
Did you really?
Online, but
In school?
no,
Your
I mean,
permanent file.
just a couple years ago.
I got a referral once, but I got out of it
couldn't find it.
because I cried.
Somewhere.
I just think that.
So anyway, that's when your boss puts it in your record. You get a talking to, knock it off. And I was caught up in it one time. And let me tell you this before I forget, because I will. This woman was being vulgar about her last name and what it rhymed with and whatever. And then she went into, she was in a good mood, true story. She was in a good mood because she has a boyfriend and went into the details. One day she's in the bad mood and I said, "Aren't you still seeing your boyfriend?" Alluding to the fact that she said she was in a good mood because she had a boyfriend and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So all I said was, "Aren't you still going out with your boyfriend?" Boom, sexual harassment. Against me.
Are you serious?
So the boss, who's a very smart man, I respect him. Stop. That he said it doesn't matter. I said, she started it. She did this, she did it. Doesn't matter. You responded to it. You know? And of course, my favorite is when we had this with the police department and the sergeant got up and of all people, this sergeant stood up and started talking about it and he got into it and I yelled out to him, "Hey, baby, nice legs."
There you go, Norman. The stand-up guy that you are.
Just to be funny, yeah, right?
See, I just think it either get to the point where you don't want to. People can't even be people anymore. You just have to be automatons.
But I watched something
emotional and lifeless robots.
I watched an extreme on Mad Men. Okay, we all know that I binge watched that. And there was Joan, who's very buxom. She has a body brick, house, right? And
she's mighty.
She is.
Let it all hang out.
She's got a brick. Anyway, so then she is
that
trying
Earth,
to
Wind,
pitch
and Fire?
pantyhose.
Oh dear.
She's trying to pitch pantyhose to executives, guys, back about 1970, and they said,
"Pantyhose or thigh highs?"
You should be pantyhose when they came out with those instead of the garters and stuff. Joe Namath wore them, right? So anyway, he said, "Honey, you should be selling bras. I mean, look at you. All right, I mean that ain't cool."
And we have women.
Her breasts appeared in the room about 5 minutes before she did.
And this is from the gender or the sex that make a very good living in pole dancing, nightclubs.
Does that mean that every single woman needs to be subjected to that? Because some women exploit it?
Who's being exploited? Who's the one being exploited?
I'm with you there. But then again, I'm a guy.
I worked at the end zone.
If I could go wiggle on a pole or work at Hooters and make tips, I'd do it.
I worked at the end zone as a bartender, wearing as little as possible. These girls were dancing. 3 of those girls were putting themselves through law school. It was do not touch, don't even think about it.
Right.
I mean, I think
that's getting off the whole.
Sexual harassment is where we were starting.
It also goes back to what you posted on Facebook about a guy gets hit in the crotch and everybody thinks that's funny.
Yeah, on America's Stupidest Home Videos.
See, but I didn't ever let my kids watch The Simpsons either.
That's not funny.
The only time the show was funny is when they were making fun of the father.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Kathy?
What?
You said we were off the beaten path. I wanted to have you chime in. Oh, we can go to ABC News because I have to get up and get a glass of water. I'm dying.
Okay, why don't we do that?
Ta-da!
Okay, as soon as I can get my computer turned back on and click, I think I'm clicking on the right one.
And as I posted on here, we are looking for comments. The place to put them is under this video on the Norm Jones Show. And I would like to have people weigh in on what they think. And I'm watching it, so I will try to read it in the appropriate time.
And we have over 1,500 people who watch, and
not right now, not at this time. They watch it later on in the day.
Oh, yeah, correct. But my point is that I really would like you to send in your photos. If you send in a video, don't put music under it because I don't know if it's going to be flagged. We did a good show with a lot of neat graphics on Friday, and it got bounced. Yeah, we got in trouble by Facebook because it was licensed music, so the whole show went away, and it was too bad because it was a really good show.
Oh, yeah.
But we played the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and that flagged him pretty good.
Well, and
that's bleeding through, Miss.
Yeah, true enough.
That's bleeding through your microphone.
No, you're turn off.
So you can get up and go away. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that if you are watching this later, feel free to put your comments on or send them a private message to Norm.
Yeah.
Because he will read them tomorrow.
And normjones@live.com. Your local videos will name just your first name. Joe Charlevoix, if you want more, particularly if you're a professional, sure. And the other one is the videos, but also videos, yes. And we'll give you, acknowledgement of that. It's kind of neat. Let's get an update. News break. It's ABC News.
From ABC News, I'm Scott Goldberg. President Trump's next to last day in Asia included a private meeting with a world leader who's been accused of killing his own people and called President Obama profane names.
No hints of tension or controversy before President Trump sit down with President Duterte of the Philippines. Duterte has come under intense scrutiny by human rights groups who say he's carried out thousands of extrajudicial killings as part of his aggressive crackdown on drugs. President Trump in the past has commended Duterte for his war on drugs and today said the visit has been successful.
We've had a great relationship. This has been very successful.
The White House said the meeting focused on ISIS, trade, and illegal drugs, and human rights briefly came up in the context of the Philippines' fight against illegal drugs. Karen Travers, ABC News, traveling with the president in Manila.
President Trump also said he'll have a major announcement on trade and security issues when he's back in the U.S. on Wednesday. The president won't be able to influence the Republican running for senator in Alabama, who says no matter what, he's staying in the race after a newspaper report saying he used to pursue teenage girls when he was in his 30s.
Roy Moore is threatening to sue the Washington Post over their report that 4 women say he pursued them when he was an assistant district attorney and they were in their teens. Several Republicans, including Senators Pat Toomey, John McCain, and Bob Corker, are calling for Moore to withdraw immediately. And 41 other Republican senators say he should step aside if the allegations are true. But a senior advisor says even if President Trump himself were to ask Moore to drop out of the race for Alabama Senate, he would keep going. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
The death toll on the border of Iran and Iraq is close to 350 after an earthquake, magnitude 7.3. This morning in South Korea, police arrested a 58-year-old American just below the demilitarized zone separating that country from North Korea. They say the man from Louisiana attempted to enter the North for political reasons. Dow futures are down 40 points. You're listening to ABC News.
A family is demanding answers after their 3-year-old son died while eating a grilled cheese sandwich at preschool. His parents claim he was given the sandwich even though the school knew he was severely allergic to dairy. ABC's Adrian Bankert has more.
Outrage as details emerge about the death of 3-year-old Elijah Silvera.
Something so simple could have been avoided if they would have just followed or paid attention to my son's needs.
Elijah's father telling us his son was at pre-K when he suffered a severe allergic reaction after being fed a grilled cheese sandwich last Friday. The school staff allegedly calling family members instead of 911. The boy's mother, not an ambulance, rushing him to the hospital.
I kept praying and praying and praying, and it's like, this cannot happen.
Silvera says by the time he arrived, he was too late.
My wife comes out, and I think everything's okay because she has her face seemed normal. But as I got closer, she fell to the floor.
According to Silvera, it was well documented that his son had a dairy allergy and how dangerous it was for him to eat certain foods.
He was an asthmatic and he had like so many different allergies. From dairy was like the main source, peanuts, all berries. He was that kid that we had to watch over very seriously. We will carry this emergency pack that will have Benadryl, that will have Tylenol, that will have his EpiPen. I'm a chronic asthmatic myself. I suffer from allergies. So having that, having that, I know all the signs.
Now, several city agencies are looking into Elijah's death. The Administration of Children's Services, which runs the early education program, tells us the New York City Health Department ordered the center to close.
Elijah.
All right. That's about what we have on that one. I didn't realize that story of the poor boy was going to go on for 2 minutes, but nonetheless, it was interesting. We have a weather advisory, ladies and gentlemen. It is 8:15 on Monday, 13th day of November, and here with that now is Miss Kathy. Miss Kathy, are you there?
I am there. So it's been going on all night. We've had weather advisories for patchy freezing rain and drizzle, and watching out for black ice. So just be careful. It says it goes till 9, so by then it'll probably warm up enough. Although
be advised
we're going
of
to
that.
have more tonight.
Yeah. Something that I also shared on Facebook yesterday, and since you have dogs, thought we would share. There's Parker still in the spotlight. They're lap dogs. That's the only thing they're good at. That's the only thing that's smart enough to do is sit on your lap.
Would you stop? He's very smart.
Oh, he is not.
He can get your attention every single time.
That's because he needs his toenails clipped.
But he can still get your attention every single time.
So I say to Miss Kathy, this is a post on social media. So I say to Miss Kathy that I was thinking about taking the dogs for a WALK. She didn't need to inform me that the dog can spell. The dog knew I knew what she heard me say because there she is looking at me wagging her tail.
Jasmine.
Jasmine, the smart one, not this one. I figured if she was smart enough to spell, I would explain to her that I was thinking about going for a walk, not actually committing. Okay, it was funny at the time.
It was good because because of my dogs.
Yeah, it's true. Let's go for a WALK. Takes them about 3 times for you to say that to realize. That means walk.
No, you walk to the back door and my dogs are like, we're going.
Yeah, well, that too.
We're
If
going.
you put on a coat this time of year, it's like,
yeah.
where are we going? And then if you grab the leashes, they know they're going for a car ride.
I love both of my dogs. I
Yes.
love H like you wouldn't believe. He's so pretty. He is a very pretty dog. And Milo is my dog. And Milo is like Ferdinand the Bull. He's this big thing. I mean, when I come home, I'm pinned up against the sliding glass doors. I can't move. But it's like, go for a walk. Come on, Milo, let's go for a walk. He forgets what we're doing.
Oh, really?
He'll just sniff the flowers. He'll just go. If he could roll around in a bed of flowers, he would.
That's the breed, though.
He's just like, I'm just.
St. Bernard?
Yeah.
Or smaller St. Bernard?
Yeah, well, he's about 130 pounds.
Yeah, that's sizable.
That's still small, though. To me, they're tiny. I mean, I've seen bigger things.
165 was mine, but
what was your dog's name?
They don't live long. Benjamin.
Yeah, 8 years, maybe.
Yeah, 6-8 years for a big dog.
The larger the breed, the shorter the lifespan.
Mm-hmm. That means Parker's going to outlive me, so pretty much. Here's something else I wrote, and tell me if this isn't the truth. I was thinking about a friend. What's a friend? Well, they're a friend of mine. Are they really a friend? So I spelled it out. An acquaintance is someone that you've met socially or a member of a similar group, like you're there at a concert and you met somebody, they're an acquaintance. A friend is someone who will pick you up if you're hitchhiking. A very good friend is the person that you may get out of bed to come and get you so you don't have to hitchhike. And finally, a loved one is one who will do all the above and let you know how pissed off they are that they had to get out of bed.
There you go.
Isn't that true?
That's about right. That's about right.
Oh.
That is about right.
The closest ones are the loved ones, and they're so close to you that they'll let you know, you woke me up, and you didn't have a car. Don't talk to me. Right?
It's true.
Well, that's one thing I can say I miss about my mom. She was always there to pick me up and never complained.
I know. she was a
She
saint.
love it. Oh, I can pick you up. Yes, it's just,
Aw.
and sometimes I'm stuck in a spot and I'm like, I can't call my mom, man.
No, but now you can talk to her a lot easier.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about having
Don't have to
signal.
make the call. Anyway, we have a couple of stories to cover for you. Let's go to 9and10news.com. Texas congregation honors victims 1 week after that deadly shooting. And isn't that funny how the gun debate just slips away after about, the shelf life of a news story is what, 7 to 10 days maybe?
If that long.
Las Vegas shooting, gone.
We still don't know everything we need to know about that.
Yeah.
I know, we talked about that. Memorial ceremonies held 2 days after deadly Paris terror attacks. This is the big story, probably, the earthquakes. Costa Rica, 6.5 magnitude earthquake, more than 200 dead, thousands injured. In Iran on the Iraq border, 7.3 magnitude. That was huge. Mother charged in Manton motel explosion to learn her punishment. Yeah.
Because we talked about that one
Right.
a couple weeks ago.
Was she cooking meth?
Yeah.
She's going to learn
cooking
her.
marijuana, and it caused
She was
fire.
what?
She was cooking marijuana.
How do you cook marijuana? Don't you burn it?
I don't know.
Oh, she was making like an oil or something. They
Yeah.
said.
Oh,
not hash oil, but
We don't know if it was hash or
a wax
edibles
or something.
whatever.
I
She
don't
was
know.
doing cooking it, and it caused a fire. And
Whatever happened to the dime bag? That's where you lost me. So
her boys were injured in it. So this
Yeah.
was like last spring, I think.
Were her boys
Seriously
taken
injured.
away from her?
Second degree child abuse. Yeah, and
More
one
than that.
degree, one count of third degree arson. First degree arson that was dropped. A no contest plea means that she did not admit guilt, but will accept the punishment.
So that was dropped. Okay.
So that happens today. Anyway, she sentenced today.
Oh, I thought she was.
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay.
That is going to happen today. So that's one of the leads on 9 and 10 News.
It's slow news day.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
gosh. You know what? We could
That's
use-
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
There was
But I remember being in the news department, you had to kill 3-4 minutes, and it's like, where's there a bake sale? There must be a Swiss steak dinner around here someplace. How about the buck pull? And we talked about that too, the evergreen stories every year. No?
What?
Oh, first day of school stories, and then there's the trick or treat safety tips, and then there's the busiest travel day of the year, day before Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving, the busiest shopping day of the year, and then you come up to Christmas, and then the returns, and
Okay,
you got
so
your Cyber Monday and
Black
New Year's.
Friday is less
It's
than
just
2 weeks
they're
away.
given stories. Let's talk. We were going to talk about Black Friday. Let's
Less
talk
than
about
2 weeks
that.
away. Do you shop?
You know what? It is an event for a lot of people. Generally, particularly when the mall was huge, which not so much anymore. But I would go on a Tuesday at about 10, 11 o'clock just to avoid the crowds because they'd have a line down South Airport. Anyway, my point is I went out to report on another guy's show. And I think I talked about, I know I talked to one of you about it, but they get the flyers out on Thanksgiving.
Talk
This
to
is
me
what they
about
do.
this.
Yeah, and they get them out and they hand out the flyers based on geography. You're going to be on the west side of town. You'll be at Meyer. That's a big destination. And then they circle what they want to get. And you may be buying for yourself. You don't even know. I mean, but it's an event. This is something they get sucked into, kind of like beer and deer camp, I guess, which is the story now. Firearm deer season Wednesday, the Evergreen.
Kathy, did you Black Friday shop?
The first time I did was this last year, on Thanksgiving Day, actually. Normie was in the hospital in intensive care after we had Thanksgiving dinner here, and after that was all done, and visited him, and my son and I were sitting watching TV, and I just happened to look through the ads, and I'm like, there's a couple things I'd like in here, so like.
How about you?
Yeah.
I did it one year. That we got up in the middle of the night. I was already up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I had to go home and go to sleep, then get back up again, really.
Yeah. When I went, it went well. I mean, I didn't go for any of the things you had to wait in line in.
I went to Sam's Club.
There were a few things I wanted, and I went and picked up what it was great. Except it was so weird because one of the places, now you wonder why MC Sports went out of business, because they had a huge deal on these certain shoes. And I went in there to the shoe guys. I'm like, I want to see the shoes that you have on deal. Well, we don't have any shoes on. $20? Are you kidding? I'm like, yes, you do. And I had to get the ad out and show them. See, these shoes are the ones. Oh my gosh, look at that deal we have.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, the associate didn't know what was going on. Communication was the problem there, obviously.
Well, then I said something to their manager, going out jokingly. She's like, they were told, but I guess they knew they're going on getting rid of.
Okay, so.
But anyways, it was fun. It was fun, actually.
I shopped on Christmas Eve once at Meijer. I remember I got my sister some socks. And then I think I swung by 7-Eleven and got like a Christmas tree air freshener or something. No, I didn't really. I got one of those hot dogs that have been cooking for like 5 days.
Christmas traditions that your family has. Do you have any?
Argue.
Okay, now that you're a blended family, do you have Christmas traditions that you two share?
No.
Well, things just...
I'm going to go over to my parents, and that's when my daughter will show up, and we'll get to hear all the gossip.
Is this the baby's first Christmas?
Yeah, and his family, his brother calls and his nephew calls.
Yes.
They all call during when everybody's there. But this is going to be a different Christmas for us.
Yeah, it is.
She lost her mom.
Yeah, we had traditions up until...
Well, no. Why does the tradition have to stop?
Well...
We can't go to her house, everybody.
No, but you can go to somebody else's house.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Just not ours, because I have to clean it.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think it might be a pause, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Is that your brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
He's a good-looking one.
She's adorable. We already gone through
No,
this.
Paul is a good-looking brother.
No,
she has two
taking
brothers?
shots at Mike, yeah.
Oh.
He's just joking around.
I didn't know how many. I don't know her siblings at all.
Whatever.
So, Christmas tradition in our family.
Yes, is put up 100 trees, first of all.
Besides that, is pajamas.
You must have pajamas. Now, they must get them on Christmas Eve,
They
then.
get them on Christmas Eve so that when you get up in the morning and take pictures. I've been doing that since I was a kid. I mean, that's the only Christmas tradition we have. I grew up, Santa brought the Christmas tree. We went to bed Christmas Eve. Christmas morning, the tree was there.
Oh
It wasn't there when I went to bed.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah, Santa brought the Christmas tree with all the stuff underneath it, too.
My goodness. Why are you special?
Yeah, I guess. But, that, and I know because of the kids, I've been hanging out with Grandma Vicky. She's an amazing woman, this woman. She's not their real grandmother, but she could not love my kids anymore if they were. She just is an amazing woman. She instilled traditions in them, like baking Christmas cookies.
Right.
Got to bake the Christmas cookies. My son said to me, "Hey, Mom, I'm good." And his voice is much lower than that. I need your recipe for making fudge because I want to make some this year.
Yeah.
My son is making us, who's turning 20 this Wednesday, is making us breakfast for Thanksgiving because his sisters won't be there for Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh.
He's like, so I'm going to make some breakfast. Do you want sausage, Mom? Bless your heart.
Everybody does have a different tradition. We had neighbors who did this pull taffy. Invariably would scrape across the floor when you're pulling it.
Oh, fun.
Do you do pull taffy?
Never. But we always had Christmas, our family Christmas time was Christmas Eve, which worked out well, like for both of my marriages, and for my son in between, because like his family, they do it Christmas Day, so we were able to, we didn't have to choose between families.
Oh, that's really helpful.
Yeah,
that's really
it
helpful.
is.
Christmas Eve, we go to candlelight services at the church.
Yeah, I used to.
And on the way home, since where we live, I make my children walk through the snow to the St. Francis Nativity, and we sing Happy Birthday to Baby Jesus.
No, I think you're thinking of Bethany Lutheran.
No.
St. Francis has one, too.
I live right there on the corner of 14th Street.
I know.
You know where I live?
Sure.
Right there on the corner of 13th, or is that the other little street, Griffin? No, it's 13th
Right.
and Union. They have this very large
I did not.
nativity.
I did not know
And
this.
I make my children go and sing Happy Birthday to Baby Jesus. And at first they were mortified. You know what? Now they ask.
Aw, well, of course they do. It's tradition, right?
That's sweet.
So I did all my Christmas shopping, which I don't usually start, but
Are you done?
You know what? I'm half done, and I did it all on the internet.
Are you Amazoning? Any smiley faces?
No,
Okay.
I see these little sponsored links for these cool little things on Facebook.
Oh my God. Oh my!
I know.
I love Amazon. Don't get me wrong.
No. I did, and I had to search high and low for what my mom said she wanted at one time, and hopefully she still wants it. You know what I mean? It was a long time ago. I don't usually start like that, but I did. And then Miss Kathy, we're going to have a joint discussion. We're going to have to go, what, I mean, I can get her something 20, 30, 40, but I guess that's it.
Yeah.
What did we do last year?
I don't think you did much, honey.
No.
Stop.
We usually don't buy anything. In the past, I think since we've been married, we'd made the agreement not to buy each other anything. And I would buy some little things.
A little
shirts.
something.
Remember I bought you some shirts last year?
Yeah, and the baby doll nighty. I like that. Slept.
Yeah.
Stop. I don't know.
Any chance to interject that? It's just going to be.
Oh, here's another holiday story, and then I'm going to talk more about Black Friday, which is no longer on Friday. Did you get you got the flyers on Sunday? You know.
I know.
Black Friday has already started. It's like, and then here's another one that became big in the last 3 years. We're going to give our employees Thanksgiving off. We're not going to open at 10 p.m. on Thanksgiving. I don't think employees who are in retail, like I was at that age or whatever, I don't think they care. I mean, I chose a career in broadcasting. I had to work 6 a.m. Christmas morning.
Both my girls are working on Thanksgiving Day.
So anyway, this big hoopla. No, I'm not going to shop there because they don't give their employees a day off. I'm going to shop there because they give their employees. But anyway, Black Friday is like now. Black Friday is, you've seen them. You've seen flyers.
Get the Black Friday sales prices now,
And I
told them it's creeping and creeping and creeping.
I saw my first Christmas ad themed, wasn't blatant like they are now, but on the 1st of November, little jingle bells, and of course we'll see the Kiss candy Christmas tree bells and sure. And so but last year I didn't listen to any Christmas music and I kind of missed it.
Do you have a favorite Christmas carol?
I always like Carol of the Bells, but Mary Do You Know is pretty sweet.
Oh, by Pentatonics. Have you heard it by Pentatonics?
No, I'm
completely
Kathy
acapella.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
either way, it's the song itself.
I mean, when you kiss your newborn baby, you kiss the face of God. If that doesn't move you to tears.
My mother always pointed out the Christmas ones that she hated, the 12 Days of Christmas.
I love that.
So now I'm kind of biased against the 12 Days of Christmas, too.
I hate Grandma Got Run Over by Reindeer.
Oh, I can't do that.
I hate that song.
That's just, it was a novelty song, and these guys actually made a little money off it, and I'm happy for them.
There are guys that came here, Straight No Chaser. They are an a cappella group from, I'm not going to remember the college, not Dartmouth, it's another one. They were here at Interlochen, and they do a Christmas thing, and they do the 12 Days of Christmas, and they bring in the Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and it's just, it's actually quite comical.
Do they do Festivus?
No.
Do they celebrate Festivus?
Walking around in women's underwear.
Yeah. Well, I got burned out on that one. Chipmunks roasting on an open fire. I like that one, though.
Although I do like the Chipmunks
That's pretty
Christmas
good.
song.
But anyway, that's a nice one. I went to New York and saw the Rockettes Christmas Eve, and then I also saw the New York City Ballet do the Nutcracker. I know. And we're there, and didn't ride the subway. Now, here's the deal. Here's how uncouth I am. That I barely know the word.
You're doing this.
I'm doing Donald Trump. Kim Jong-un.
Stop.
So, anyway, I tried to scalp the tickets because we decided we didn't want to go, and this wasn't Miss Kathy, and so I'm there.
You didn't want to go where?
$100 a Nutcracker, I didn't think. Everybody was in tuxedos, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm in sweatpants like I am all the time. And I had a ski coat on or something. And these guys show up with their little girls, right? And they have to have their picture taken with the ballerina, too. They get you there. But they were all there with little girls on their arms going to see the Nutcracker. And, of course, that's way easy to get points with Mom for doing that, right?
I love
the Nutcracker production at New York City was the most amazing
Lincoln
thing.
Center?
Yes. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It was just...
Lincoln Center, for those of you who don't know.
The stage moves and the Christmas tree comes up out of the floor. I mean, it's just amazing. The hydraulics in the stage, the orchestra at the Rockettes for the Christmas thing.
In the pit, and they come up?
The pit. pit. Yep, they come up and then they turn around the pit, and it's just wow. That was fun.
Next time you have to go to Riverside Church in Harlem for their Christmas presentation. I don't know what it is about Negro spirituals, because that's what the term is, so don't jump my crap. And Southern Baptist songs.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
They
Pentecostal.
are filled with such joy and jubilation.
Yeah.
And you go to you go to the
Praise Jesus. I know. And
but even their songs are upbeat and up tempo, whereas ours it's like
I love it.
You just sit there going, "Praise God from whom all blessings."
And I understand actually how some people fall asleep in church because it's very peaceful in some of those services.
Not in a black Baptist church. You ain't sleeping.
Nope.
No, baby.
Hallelujah, sister. You say it. What?
Nothing. I was just trying to get my chance to say something.
Oh, good luck with that with Diane. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I just
we have
wanted
the school
to say
closings too. But that's kind of
one of my traditions with my mom. It started with my mom several years ago because of course, Christmas Day we don't do a lot, especially those of us. I would be home alone and my mom would be home. So I started taking her out Christmas night to look at Christmas lights. So this year, Norm didn't want to go. I went by myself, cried, but I should tomorrow post some videos because I made a couple videos. There are a few alleys in Traverse City that the whole alley they all work together to decorate, and so I went through and I played some Christmas music, which may but and I made a little video of them.
I think that's adorable.
It was really
it's weird
really
because you see the houses on 6th Street, you expect it, but it is on that west side of town, and then they do the alleys, and then she fell in love with a bike that had Christmas lights on it, like an old antique bike with Christmas lights.
One year,
and so then she put her bike out there, and
I saw it.
Yeah, I remember I had my bike out there.
It wasn't quite the same as a rusty antique bike.
Kathy, her bike's just locked to the fence.
I was all concerned about her bike being outside. I'm like,
it has Christmas lights on it.
It's something between, there's an old-fashioned 1950s rusty bike, and then there's like a $2,000 bike that she owns that it just doesn't work.
It's not.
Doesn't equate.
No, the 50s style one is just fine. It's not her real bike that's out. Well, it isn't your real bike, is it?
Well, no, it was one of my older bikes.
She has mini bikes. Anyway, I tried to buy her a belt for her bike. Cyclists are not bikers.
Yes.
They're supposed to be motorcycles.
Yeah, correct.
Cyclists, they don't put novelty bells.
No, you go to Brick Wheels or you go to, what's the other one?
McLean.
Yeah, both down the road
or
here.
City Bike Shop. Mm-hmm.
No.
Your dad gave me a
There is a bell that they sincerely, people who are doing 2-track, because Paul is going to do the Shorts Fat Tire Series.
Yeah.
There's 3 bike races. The Snow Angel, the Beard of Zeus, and I don't remember the name of the other one.
But you need a bell.
You do, because there's we know a couple of people that got seriously hurt getting head-on collisions.
Well, I think it's handy, too, when you're riding down next to Grandview Parkway in Clinch Park
ding, ding, ding. Yeah,
at night, because on your left, with your experience, you know what on your left means, that here they come. But, the bell kind of works, but you always slow down anyway.
But you don't know what side they're coming from. You have to do the bell and then say on your left.
Right.
Is the bell, and then the person could be coming around.
We digress. Here we go. The local shop local push is on. And by the way, speaking of pushing Black Friday, the Salvation Army ringer is outside the neighborhood grocery store. And it was a little too soon for me. And let me also say, and some people will know this particular neighborhood grocery store has somebody begging for dollars every single week. That's not true, but it seems like it. Some type. Yeah, somebody's there.
Like a homeless person, or
no.
Like
I'll give money to them.
Different group.
Who are food generally, not money.
Or like there's somebody that you have to avoid their eyes basically when you go there 3 times.
Yeah,
a day.
and you're getting hit up every week. There's something else. There's the Boy Scouts, and then there's the Girl Scouts, and then the one that I'm sorry, this is terrible. I'm going to kick the sacred cow in this town right now. When the Rotary asks for your spare change. The richest Rotary
in the country
on the planet. No, on the planet.
I don't think
they're the richest Rotary in the world.
I don't know that other countries have Rotaries. I don't know that to be true.
I don't know. Actually, you're missing my point, though.
A
You
very
don't need
big
my
thing.
dollar.
They have a lot of money.
You have oil royalties, and they're very generous, like the tribe, right? They're very, very generous, Rotary. But, you know, I'm going to give my dollar to Father Fred or to
You know, I guess I don't know. What is the tribe?
It's the Ottawa Chippewa up here. It's the Odawa and
Grand
Petoskey.
Traverse,
It's
we
the
have,
Little
like-
River Band in
No,
Manistee.
No, there's different ones. The Little River Band is one. Then there's the Grand Traverse Band. That's the one up in Peshawar.
Grand Traverse Band of
Ottawa
Chippewa Indians.
Are they separate tribes though? Is there an Ottawa?
Ottawa Chippewa. I don't know.
Or is it? I don't know.
They're
They're not.
They're different. They have different governmental systems and different
Yeah.
people that belong to each. So one is the one out of Manistee, and one is out of Bashabi Town.
Right.
You know, we are going to have somebody on here eventually who will talk about that.
Indian boarding houses. Ooh,
And
that was
too,
interesting.
That my friend Lucy could talk about
Oh,
that.
when they had them.
They tried to
her aunt
indoctrinate
went
them. They
to
tried to wash the Indian out of the natives.
This was like back in the 50s.
Yeah.
When they were abusive.
Remember that whole song, Cherokee People?
By Paul Revere and the Raiders?
They took the whole Indian nation.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Put us on the reservation, took away our native life.
That's
Speaking
true.
of my good-looking brother Paul, he was
Yes.
listening. I don't know if he was listening. When
Oh,
we
I hope
talked
so.
about it.
Paul's the good-looking brother of Kathy's, by the way. I just wanted
Why
Mike
is
to...
Mike
I wanted
upset?
Mike to hear it.
Yeah. Well,
Why
Paul
do you
will
want to
tell
upset
him,
Mike?
maybe.
Because he's edgy.
He's edgy.
Paul's so nice, you can't make fun of him.
So Paul's like that guy.
Paul's the
a
nice
great
guy
He
everybody
puts his
likes.
cap on everything.
Yeah, he does.
He lets his
and then
9-year-old
there's Mike. He's a little sarcastic and surly, like me.
you.
Exactly.
Surly is a good word to describe
When I
you.
first worked with him, we were-
Doing what?
Oh, it's a bottle. We're putting soffit up on Kathy's. I know he has to find the noisiest toy in the
No,
house.
it's what he's doing with it.
Is he getting friendly with the bottle?
He's got the bottle underneath him, so he's biting the bottom end of the bottle and he's backing up. So he's like riding the bottle.
Yeah.
backwards.
We had Cooper, and Cooper had a large cylindrical plush toy.
Mm-hmm. It was his friend.
His girlfriend.
Yeah.
His girlfriend.
Yeah,
He would.
He would.
enjoy
Yeah,
her,
he
and then-
would.
Then he'd fall asleep holding her.
Yeah.
afterwards.
He had a little afterglow going on.
Parker, we
That's
fixed
like-
we had Parker fixed earlier.
A little,
younger,
a little late.
So he doesn't have Parker. Well, I mean,
Parker was
Parker
fixed
doesn't
earlier.
have that as much in him because he doesn't have as many hormones
Traverse
running
City,
around. So.
Traverse City's Shop Your Community Day supports local nonprofits for the 13th year, and there's the Cherryland Humane Society, which I have to believe they've gotten on better financial ground. They were threatening
I hope so. They
they
charge
were
enough.
threatening to close every 6
They
months.
charge enough for their animals.
Yeah.
Well, thought it was a great event. Yeah, isn't that funny? AC Paw's still kind of the golden child.
Of some.
Yeah, it is.
And then there's hands.
Here we go. Thought it was a great event to come down to actually spend some money locally, be able to donate to a cause. Shoppers braved the cold Saturday to cross a few things off the Christmas list, give back to the community. 13th annual Shop Your Community event filled businesses downtown Traverse City. 60 stores participated in the event, which kind of reminds me a tangent here that Jack Lane and I had mentioned. The Blue Angels were performing with about 500,000 people, and the stores downtown were closed. Or you go downtown even on a Sunday, and there are restaurants that are closed.
Yeah.
You can't be closed anymore.
Why
But
not?
what I'm saying with the merchants downtown would say, I don't make any money during Cherry Festival because people don't want to come downtown.
Bull crap.
Bull crap. People by the hundreds of thousands are downtown.
Do you know how many of those
So you
stupid,
know what-
god-awful tie-dyed sweatshirts I saw? Where do you think they bought those? The resort?
Absolutely. So, anyway, I had a screen printing shop, and we did wholesale screen printing. But we screen printed our own unique cherry shirts. You can't say National Cherry Festival, but you can say Cherry Festival all day. Silly thing. But we found a way to make money, because we had a shop downtown, to make money off the hundreds of thousands of people. Even though we were a wholesale manufacturer, basically.
Olivia was offered money this year because she had a baseball hat with cherries in the front, and on the tab across the back, it said, "Ask me, I'm local."
I love it. Well, I talked about that.
Yeah, we were going to get
Neon
T-shirts.
green T-shirts.
Ask me, I'm local.
I'm just afraid You know,
how
do you
many
need
people-
a vetting process to
No,
make
but
sure?
you know how many people I saw like downtown looking at those adorable little street maps that we have?
Right.
And inevitably, because I'm not going anywhere downtown anytime soon, I have enough time to roll down the window and say, "Are you lost?"
Right.
Without going, "Have you tried Hare Krishna?" No, there's a joke there. There's a joke there. I don't know. It's from the Muppets. I don't know. I don't know. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari.
Harry.
Okay, so, you know, we're looking for a place to eat. She knows it, the whole thing.
So,
I used to see them at
do you have
the
any
airport.
carnations you want to hand out?
Yeah, I saw them at the airport when I was growing up many times.
I don't see them anymore.
I don't see them anymore either. There were some at 7-Eleven when Shadowland, the bar, was a biker bar. And a
where?
biker showed up,
Where?
Shadowland, 7-Eleven, Conklin. There was a bar across the street.
Well, bar where?
And where the housing is now for the NMC students.
Really?
Near the Dennis Museum Center. There was a nightclub there. That and the Town's House. Those were the places to
Wow.
go. Bob Seger, Ted Nugent played at the Town's House. Anyway,
Ted Nugent signed the bathroom at 7-Eleven.
yeah, that's what they say.
I've seen it.
I've seen it too, but I don't know if it's legit.
Have you been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No, but we talked about that too.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame where Lost and Found is, because you are not allowed to bring a camera. Oh, don't do it. They will take it. They will. Well, will they take it? Charlotte lost her camera, and it ended up in the Lost and Found. You have to walk down this probably 40-foot corridor, and on either side of the corridor, they've all signed the wall.
Oh.
It's amazing.
Well, Miss Kathy, you were telling me that induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I heard on Sirius that the tickets are not that expensive.
They're
and
not.
I said that would be kind of fun
Well,
because I
that's
had watched it
amazing.
on TV. And
Now,
it looks
sometimes,
like, a fun show.
the
They don't
Turtles
know-
get inducted into
Yeah,
the
they
Rock and
don't
Roll
know
Hall of Fame. The
who
Turtles,
it is
come
yet.
on.
It depends on who's inducted.
Run DMC is in the Rock and Roll Hall
That's
of
what
Fame.
I'm talking about.
Wrong.
Yeah, but
Sampling Walk This Way, really?
Yeah.
Well, when they did it with
Aerosmith was,
it was
yeah.
cool.
Of course it was. Anyway,
we'll just see who's being inducted because if it's a good show, usually it's cool.
Joan Jett's car is downstairs. It's cool.
oh, one of the things that has to do with the shop local thing, 15% of every sale goes to one of 40 local nonprofits.
I didn't realize that we had that many nonprofits. God, that's a lot.
Well, there are a lot, and there can be good money in nonprofits. I remember the executive director of one that isn't around anymore. Made a good living. Shoppers simply checked a box when they checked out and support their favorite nonprofit. I've done it that way before, and they give you so many chances to pick the nonprofit of your choice. I'm a nonprofit. This show is a nonprofit. I don't have a 401. I don't have a 401c3 yet, but I can prove that I'm losing money.
So wait, you're not stuck into like I'm going downtown shopping. I have to choose my one nonprofit.
You get to.
But you can go from store to store and pick a different one at every store.
I don't know.
Because that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go to the captain's quarters. We love the captain's quarters.
We love the captain's quarters.
We love the captain's quarters. You go to the captain's quarters and you want to donate to, I don't know, the Cherryland Men's Choir.
Right.
You know, you could do that there. You could go to Raven's Child and, do something for like Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Right.
You know, depending on the store.
You know what? Let's talk about that. I'm going to finish this one up because they gave $26,000 last year.
Holy
They're hoping-
cow.
Yeah, it's not a bad chunk of change. They're hoping to eclipse that. And but anyway, we were talking with Colleen at Monkey Fist Brewery and Dancing with the Stars. Swing Shift in the Stars.
Yeah.
Swing Shift in the Stars. And Judy Harrison set it up. And I was asked to dance at the very first one.
Oh, dear.
The Big Cheese asked me. I said,
Can
no.
you dance?
No. Well, I had no interest in staying up that late. So, anyway, I know. Baby, I see it. You pointed it out three times now. I'm not totally stupid.
Okay.
Partially. So, anyway, she's raising money for Peace Ranch, where developmentally delayed kids
Is that the Wars
ride the
family?
horses.
That's called hippotherapy.
Yeah.
And Jonathan did it. He used to put him on top of a horse. It's before he could talk.
Yeah.
He would lay on top of the horse, and the rhythm of the horse and the horse breathing and the horse's
Make you fall
heartbeat.
asleep.
And Jonathan would go, there. and he would kind of like pet the horse. And then my friend brought over her rodent, guinea pig, and the guinea pig was ill. And so no, like it was going to pass.
Right.
And Jonathan took it upstairs to his room, put it in his bed with him, and just kept rocking it, going.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Jonathan's real good with animals. Real good with animals because they make sense.
One of the ones with the swing shift in the stars too is addiction treatment services. God knows we've got to figure that out eventually. I don't think we ever will. Rush Limbaugh once said that if you got rid of all drugs and alcohol, people would be spinning around in circles in their front yard. There's just this innate desire for a lot of different animals as well to eat fermented fruit and stuff. But boy, I tell you what, we've gotten ourselves into a lot of trouble in this country with that.
Yeah, it just seems the more we seem to figure stuff out, the more we lose our way.
I know it.
You know?
And I'm sorry to be pessimistic, but these mass murders are, when it comes with today, that's what it is.
It's evil.
It's what exactly. Well, let's not get off on the gun debate.
There was no gun debate there. There was no gun debate.
You're dangerously close.
How so?
Talking about you're never going to stop mass shootings. Well, then who needs this and who needs that?
Who are you to decide who needs what?
Who needs the bump stock? Who needs the AR?
You know
We're not going to go there.
You know what we need? We need that song. I'd like to buy the world a Coke. Perfect.
Yeah, in the final episode of Mad Men,
Is that what that was?
They alluded to the idea that he went back into advertising after he dropped out, and he wanted Coke, and then they showed that I'd like to teach the world to sing.
He got that.
And they alluded to the fact that he came up with it. In real life, he didn't. Here we go. We have the top news at Fox News. Sorry about this. Green Beret found dead. Had discovered SEAL's cash scheme. It gets worse.
I don't know what that means. Could you read
They had a
more?
cash scheme. The Green Beret. The story that I will click on right now will give us the details of that. This guy's name was Meljar, I don't know. 2 Navy SEALs being investigated in the strangulation death of that Army Sergeant Logan Melgar, I'm going to go with that, in Mali in June, allegedly offered the Green Beret a cut of the military money they pocketed, but he refused. So the Green Beret pocketed military money. You can't do that unless you're a contractor. Then you can pocket all kinds of money from the military. Melgar confronted the 2 Navy SEALs after discovering their scheme, allegedly, where they reportedly took money for themselves from a fund used to pay informants. Yeah, they pay informants. We know that. The 2 men tried to get Melgar to join the racket, but he declined the offer. The report said he ended up dead in what appeared to be a strangulation.
Oh, gosh.
I know.
But on a good note, Marcus Luttrell. Do you remember Mr. Luttrell? You interviewed him.
I don't. Was he
Sole survivor.
He was a SEAL. Wasn't he? Yeah, I interviewed
you remember him now?
And Kevin Dockery was one of them.
Do you remember Marcus Luttrell now?
I don't.
He wrote a book. You've interviewed him on WT.
That station. Yeah, people are like, I miss you on the radio, and I'm like, well, if I would have gone to one of the other stations I got a job offer at,
you still would miss us.
They still say we miss you on the radio. What they mean is in that capacity.
I know. Well, now they can come here.
Well, I turned down a hard new rock, and I turned down sports, and I turned down this stuff because I just wasn't
doing
qualified.
sports?
Oh yeah, Matt Stafford. That is the extent of the Detroit
There you go.
Lions roster.
You got
Okay,
it.
famous birthdays. We wanted to get to that so we get to guess, Miss Diane, on exactly how old these people
All right. People from today.
are. People from today.
Jimmy Kimmel. How old is he?
I'm going to say 47.
53.
49. Between. Yep. How about Whoopi Goldberg?
Whoopi Goldberg is pushing 61.
I'm thinking 72.
Norm got it. 61.
Wow. She looks like hell.
Yeah. I wanted
I'll
to
let
do it
her know.
today because there are actually a few birthdays. Okay, there's more. Gerard Butler, movie actor.
Yeah, he's an actor, but I can't think of what he looks like.
53.
He's got like this butt chin or something. I'm going to go with 62.
47.
Oh,
that
God.
doesn't seem right, though.
Yeah,
I think he's older than that.
Yeah.
I think he's got a fake
I don't know
birthday
who
in
it
there.
is.
And Steve Zahn.
Come on, we talked about
Silverman.
this.
Saving Silverman. He was one of the
I
guys.
had no idea.
He's one of the the movie Saving Silverman. He was one of the guys that kidnapped the other.
You know
guy.
what she's talking about?
Yeah, he's
Saving
been in-
Silverman, yeah, he was going to get married to this girl and they didn't want him to do that.
Yeah, he's the one that beat up. You don't remember that movie?
No, go ahead.
But he was in a lot of movies. Anyways, well, how old do you think he is, Diane?
39?
49.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
I suck at this.
He's been in a lot.
It's hard.
Yeah. How about Joe Montenegro? He is in Criminal Minds.
No idea.
Okay, just wait. He's in Criminal Minds. David
I know who
Rossi,
he is.
and he's also was in The Three Amigos and The Godfather.
Oh, I only remember
Well,
Martin
he's
Short and the other
69.
two.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And how about there's one more I know that was in here. I thought. Wait a minute. I gotta go further down here. It's hard because you gotta go. Oh, Chris North, Mr. Big on.
Oh, Chris North, Mr. Big on Sex and the City.
Yeah.
He's a kinky son of a gun.
63, I guess.
Diane?
Because that show's pretty old.
58.
62.
What?
Yep. So
He just did a commercial, by the way, for anti-suicide.
So did you ever watch the series American Horror Story?
No.
Did you?
Not my genre at all.
I tried, but I...
Okay, well, because there's one actress that was from there. She played Maura. Frances Conroy.
Oh, she was in a lot of movies.
Yeah. How old is she?
I looked at her picture, so now I know. She's probably 82.
63.
Oh, crap. Sorry. Here's the forecast for today. Brought to you by .NET News and Sarah of Traverse City. Today, look for a high of maybe 42. Tomorrow's high, we could see 50.
Wait, I thought we were under, like, frozen drizzle warnings.
That's over.
At night. Yeah, no, tonight it could
I thought it was
happen.
last night.
Could happen again tonight. Well, the warning was for this.
Is the warning over now?
The warning's over at 9 o'clock, but
That's over now.
but
4
they're,
minutes,
they're
yeah.
still. It says that it. Let's see. It could happen again because it gets cold at night. So it warms up, thaws out, and then it gets cold at night. So we could have.
Okay.
Some sunshine, 42 today, maybe 50 tomorrow. We said that. First day of firearm deer season. Scattered rain, 51 degrees. That's almost warm enough to paint outside, not quite.
So yeah,
I didn't get all that done, so...
about midnight it'll get down to 31, 32 degrees.
Right.
Just so you know, so that's when you might see the black ice.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll see my own black ice. That's nice.
All right, what else do we have in the news? Not a whole heck of a lot on that front, I guess. I'm going through it right now. That was the Fox News 9 and 10, 7 to 4. We did the ticker. CNN is talking about that deadly earthquake, Iran-Iraq earthquake, 300 dead, 4,000 injured.
Guys,
That's huge.
Forget my previous comment because it was snarky because I've got issues, but that's a tragedy right there.
It is.
And you
in a
know what?
sense,
Because I'm going to be snarky again. Who's the first person that they're going to complain about not doing enough?
That's right.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I totally agree. Well, we saw a thing on Sunday morning, CBS, with Jane Pauley, and she was talking about...
She's still alive?
Yeah, she hasn't changed a lot.
You're kidding me. She still got that
No.
silly bob haircut?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh.
So, anyway, she was doing a story on this guy, Latino, and how everybody came together to help out Puerto Rico, and his message was... There's still people in the mountains, and we need to help Puerto Rico help themselves. And I went, yay.
Well, yeah.
Yay.
Oh, speaking of...
I mean, look at Northern Michigan when we have a tragedy. Or Utah, when Elizabeth Smart went missing.
Well, I'm
when
sorry,
we started
we
the show.
did-
We all get together and we help. And in Puerto Rico...
I'm sorry,
not
if
so
you're going
much.
to
And that's
constantly look
what I'm
for
getting.
somebody else to do for you...
That's right.
Because when we had that really bad blizzard here, where we had like feet where people couldn't walk outside of their houses and stuff
78.
like that,
Mhm.
you know, nobody called a state of emergency. The National Guard didn't come here and dig us all out.
No.
No, there's a state of emergency, but yeah.
It might have been, but I don't remember.
I can't remember who.
Well, what did I call it? I called it fun. You know, 6-foot snow drifts. That was good times.
I mean, what
Canceled
happened
school for like a week.
not too
I always
long
loved
ago
when they
was-
canceled school a day in advance.
Oh yeah, that's always pressure.
Because
sit
when
there
you
going,
wake
"Oh,
up
it's
and
gonna be
school is
bad."
canceled,
It's like I'm already up.
I'm already up. Now I'm excited. And have you ever wondered why it's not safe to drive the buses, but the malls and the ski resorts are crawling with students?
Yeah, and I love how the ski resorts will say on school days, you get so much off your ticket if you're a student when you come in on a snow day.
Yeah.
You know?
So basically, they're encouraging people to drive,
Yeah.
I have a question.
but they're not going to drive the buses.
I have a non-related question, but I want to leave everybody completely.
No, go ahead. You got a minute.
When Cinderella left the ball,
Yeah,
her shoe fell off.
it wasn't the right size.
Wait, how come they picked up the shoe and they went to put it on her foot and it fit exactly right?
Exactly.
Why is that?
No, I've heard this before.
No, I want to know. No, it's not magic. Bibbidi
It was
bobbidi boop.
magic. Yeah.
Somebody needs to explain that to me. Her foot swelled
All
when
I
she was
know
dancing. I don't get it.
is
You ever tried dancing on glass slippers?
every day.
Not stilettos, slippers.
What was it? Elizabeth Ann Warren?
What about her?
Who was the girl who was in the television?
Rodgers and Hammerstein version.
No.
Yes, it was Rodgers and Hammerstein
Was
version.
it?
Yes.
Oh, she was so cute.
She was.
My first
With the
crush.
big eyes.
Oh God, just puppy. Kind of like our puppy. This is a real pup. Well, it's gone now. Anyway, it's
Not
9
gone.
o'clock.
It's right there.
Thank God. We probably will have a second camera tomorrow, and then we're still looking for a third. If you're listening in and you have an iPhone 4 or 5 or something like that, has to be able to charge with a charger, and then we just hook it up to our Wi-Fi and use it as a camera. Gotta go. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Music.
We didn't show your friend's picture.